substitute, or that they know, hey, I do belong here.
Yeah, and you see that all the time. A lot of good players they go up, they struggle, they come down, they go back up, and then they start figuring things out, start believing in themselves, and then they can profile to what they're going to be.
Ty Van Berkeley's with us from Davenport as we open up a 4-game series with the Swing. And before we take a break, Ty, I'm not sure, but I hope you had a chance to read the feature story on Albert Pujols in Sports Illustrated recently. He's a product of the Midwest League, and they focused on things like being quiet in the swing and muscle memory. And another thing they focused on was Albert using video to his advantage. These are things that the video especially, I think Tony Gwynn kind of revolutionized the game. Are you a pretty big advocate of the value of video, or are you more of a teach by in the cage without the video?
No, I believe in video. We have a very nice video system that's actually in the computer that, we can show guys what we're talking about, and it's got telestrators. It's pretty high-tech. And it is important, and I think the kids in this era are more visual learners growing up in the video era, and I think they respond when they can see it. And the one thing I don't like them to get dependent on it and use it as a crutch and want to look at it every day. It's a teaching tool. It's great. We have it. It's important, but it's not in lieu of hard work and good instruction.
Well, that's a great balance. When we return to Davenport, we're going to talk to Ty about his time playing in the Japanese professional ranks. That'll be fascinating. So stay tuned here on the Kernel Radio Network to the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Our final segment with Ty Van Berkeley, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim roving hitting instructor. And Ty, you did something that earlier in your career that takes a lot of courage, and that is you left the comfort and everything that goes with our country, and you went to a completely different culture, and that was Japanese baseball. But you played 5 years, so you must have liked it.
Yeah, I did enjoy it, and I have good memories of it. My son was actually born in Hiroshima, so my daughter, I had one daughter at the time, and my wife, we all went over there and had really no idea what to expect, and it was a different world, and it was a neat culture. We embraced it, and we did enjoy it. Coming home at the end of the season was nice, because there is no place like home, but we definitely had a good time. It was a good experience.
Ty, you said a key thing. You and your family embraced the Japanese culture. I've read a couple of books on guys that have gone over there, including Bob Horner, and some guys just never get used to the way things are done over there.
Yeah, that's true. Some guys really don't. And I think it's important that you're in their country, that you take whatever you can from that culture and enjoy it. We still don't wear shoes in our house.
You kept that intact. Yeah. Your wife must like that.
That's right. It's comfortable and it's cleaner. We like it.
Well, sure. Ty, as far as the movie Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck, it came out almost 20 years ago now, and they portrayed Japanese baseball as being much more ritualistic and set in its ways. Cleanup hitters being asked to bunt, team-oriented. There's nothing wrong with that. But also that it was much more of an arduous grind for some of the Japanese guys, that more like a militaristic approach to hitting and fielding. Do they go overboard, working too hard on the fundamentals, or should our country take a page from the Japanese and work more diligently on the fundamentals?
Oh, man, I could write a book on it. They do go a little overboard. through everything. But the first day was we jogged for half an hour around the field, and then I thought we were going to start playing catch, and we had to get up and jog around after stretching, we jogged around for another half hour. So then I got ready to go play catch, and then my interpreter comes up and he says, now we have 100-meter sprints. And that was the first day of spring training.
You had to adjust to that.
Yeah, I had to adjust. It was not easy. And basically that's all we did for the first 4 days. We'd do that running, and then we'd play catch, and then that was it. And that killed me. I was a big boy, so it was tough. But they, spring training, we had a rule that you had to take 1,000 swings a day, and they would have a guy that would actually follow you and mark down every swing you took in the day.
There's some good in that and some bad. The good I can see is repetition is the mother of learning. The bad is, like you say, you could go overboard. Boy, Ty, as far as you just had to embrace that and adapt to it. And some of the American players they don't want any part of that.
Yeah, most don't, and it is overboard because you fatigue to the point where now you're taking bad swings and you're creating bad habits. You've got blisters all over your hands and you really can't swing the bat efficiently. So it is a little bit too much. I never did make my 1,000 swings, to tell you, but a day, it's unbelievable. But the young guys, when they didn't finish their 1,000 swings in the day, which nobody could, you had to go to this air tent that they had outside the hotel, and you'd go in there and you'd get back in uniform and go out there and you'd finish up your 1,000 swings.
Ty, it has to be gratifying for you. Hideo Nomo was kind of the groundbreaker, and now, Ichiro put Japanese baseball on the map. The Cardinals have So Taguchi. Was it a matter of time before they were accepted here, or was it a matter of time before they had the confidence that they know they could play in the big leagues?
Well, it was a little bit, I think, a matter of time before they were accepted here, but more than that, it was a matter of time before they were allowed to go over there because of the rules that they had there. They just couldn't go over there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they changed those rules, and that's when guys started coming over. And while I was over there, there was at least a dozen guys in that league that could have played over here that would have been very good players, and it is nice to see that they are getting recognition, and they are amongst the best players in the world. And you look at the World Baseball in spring training, and they proved that they're a pretty formidable opponent. So
yes, they did. Well, Ty, when you come back into town, we may pick up right where we left off, because I can tell 5 years playing in Japan that you have some fascinating stories, including that rigorous first day of spring training. I used to coach track, and you guys were doing more than world-class sprinters.
Yeah, it about killed me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Ty, thank you so much. We'll see you when you come back later this summer. Keep up the great work with these kids. They're wonderful kids. They'll work hard for you. You know that. We appreciate everything you do.
Thanks, John, and I appreciate your support of these kids, because they are a good bunch of kids, and we've got some good ball players here.
Yes, we do. That's Ty Van Berkeley from Davenport. Next up, starting lineup, series opener, Kernels versus the Swing of the Quad Cities. This is the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
We have a wonderful Tuesday evening here in the Quad Cities. That is Davenport, Iowa, specifically to kick off a 4-game series with a team that we've become fast friends with. The Swing of the Quad Cities, the Kernels and Swing have now met, will be meeting for the 9th time in the last 2 weeks. They just a strange quirk in the Midwest League schedule, and we've matched up well with the Swing, winning 4, losing 4, and this evening it'll be Mosebach on the hill for the Kernels, trying to snap a personal 4-game losing skid that has seen his mates not score him a run in his last 2 starts. 4-0 loss right here in this ballpark May 27th, and then Moose was a 1-0 loser Thursday in Clinton. Meanwhile, the Swing of the Quad Cities is playing very well. They just had a 6-game winning streak snapped in their series finale in Grand Rapids, Michigan last night. In 11 innings, they were 1-run losers. The Kernels, of course, started off on the right foot in our 4-game series against Burlington with a 4-2 win Friday night, but then lost the next 3. 3-1 on Saturday night, 13-4 Sunday afternoon, and 6-5 last night. The Kernel record stands at 26-32. The Kernels are in 6th place in the 8-team Western Division first half standings, 1.5 games back of our opponents the next 4 dates, the Swing of the Quad Cities. They're in 5th place, 26-29. Quad Cities is an affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. The Kernels, of course, are the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the 2005 Western Division champion Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Here's the starting lineups for the series opener. First for the Swing, they're skippered by Keith Mitchell. He was a member of the 1991 National League Atlanta Brave championship team. Daniel Nelson at third base will lead it off for the Swing. He's tied for second. Rather, he's in second in stolen bases in the league, second to our own Brad Kuhn. Batting second, boy, are we glad to see him back in professional baseball. Former Colonel Richard Giannotti, the G-Man, will be in right field. He was a regular for the Kernels last year, released in spring training. Batting third for the Swing, the center fielder Colby Rasmus. Rasmus is hitting .407 against the Kernels this year. Hitting cleanup is Randy Roth, the designated hitter. Roth is second in the league with 67 hits. Batting fifth, Bryan Anderson, the catcher for Quad Cities. Anderson's batting .329 on the year. The second baseman is Jose Martinez. He has 3 of his 4 home runs against the Kernels. Martinez will bat sixth. Hitting seventh, Luis Cotto, the shortstop. Adam Rogers will be at first base and bat eighth for the Swing, and batting ninth, Simon Williams in left field. On the hill for Quad City, a 22-year-old right-hander making his 3rd start of the year. He was forced or given a chance to start for the Swing due to a recent injury to Mark McCormick. Trey Hearn, Hearne. Trey is 3-1 with a 3.86 ERA, and one of Hearn's wins came against us in our ballpark back on May 18th. Hearn, a 10-5 winner, and he struck out 5 Kernels, blanked us in 2 2/3 innings. Trey Hearn, a 22-year-old Cardinal 28th-round pick last year out of Corpus Christi A&M. Allen Motor Company, as always, set to bring you the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Buicks are the name of the game at Allen Motor Company now. Your first year's maintenance is free on Allen's when you buy a 2006 Buick Rendezvous, a 2005 Buick LeSabre, or a 2005 Buick Century. Your first year's maintenance is free from Allen Motor Company. Visit Allen's. They're open till 6 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays, up until 5 on Saturdays, and open late till 9 o'clock on Monday and Thursday nights. I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. Leading off for the Kernels in the Allen Motor Company starting lineup, Brad Kuhn, league leader in steals with 20. Kuhn had 3 in the Kernel loss last night at home. Batting second, Midwest League All-Star, shortstop, Heinle Stacia. Heinle was selected as a reserve earlier today. Flint Whipke will catch. Flint had a 2-out, 2-run double to put the Kernels ahead in the first inning last night, 2-0. Flint will hit third. Western Division starter in the outfield, Jordan Renz in the All-Star game. Renz with 3 home runs in our series at home against Burlington. Jordan now leads the league with 13 round trippers. Jordan will be in right field. Hitting fifth at third base is Dallas Morris. Mark Trumbo will bat sixth. He had 6 hits in our series at home against Burlington. Trumbo at first base. Batting seventh, Santrell Smith, and Smith will be in left field. Hitting eighth, Tyler Johnson, the designated hitter. And batting ninth at second base, Larry Infante. On the hill, Moose Mosebach trying to snap a personal 4-game losing skid in which his mates have gotten him virtually no run support. Moose has won 3, lost 4. 21-year-old right-hander, 9th round pick of the Angels last year out of Hillsborough Community College in Tampa. Mosebach with a 3.17 ERA and a 1-0 loser his last time out. Color guard from the Rock Island Armory is marching with 8 different colored flags. They're in their military camouflage green fatigues behind the mound. And a troop of 8 older men in black slacks and royal blue shirts are now going to sing the Star-Spangled Banner here from John O'Donnell Stadium. Let's pause to honor America with the singing of the national anthem. A prolonged introduction of our national anthem singers, and they'll be ready to go in just a moment. I think they're naming all of them by name, which is fine. It's just a little bit longer of an introduction than we expected. The sun is shining here. The wind is blowing from the right field foul line to the left field foul line, and a group of 10 men have formed a semicircle behind home plate facing the backstop. They're eager to sing the Star-Spangled Banner. The swing are standing at attention on the field in their white home uniforms with baby blue socks, baby blue sleeves, vested tops, and burnt orange numbers with their names on the back of their jerseys. Quad Cities leads the Kernels by a game and a half in the Western Division first half standings, and this long introduction of our national anthem singers continues here at John O'Donnell Stadium. The bleacher section down the left field line, 100% full. It parallels the left field line, and what a scene it is. Now here's the Star-Spangled Banner. You can tell by the crowd's reaction, we have a big gathering here at John O'Donnell Stadium as the Kernels take on the swing for the 9th time in the last 3 weeks. Colonel Director of Media Relations Todd Brummelkamp's alongside. And Todd, I wanted to bring you in before the first pitch on 2 fronts. First of all, Todd, you gave the good news to the Colonel Clubhouse, including Bobby Magianis, about the 4 very deserving Colonel All-Stars. Really about an hour ago, Todd. What was Bobby's reaction, and how about the 4 players?
Well, I think Bobby was a little disappointed that he didn't get everybody that he nominated on the squad. There were a couple players, Brad Kuhn in center field and Robert Mosebach, who's pitching tonight. I think both were very deserving. If anybody had seen Brad Kuhn play center field this year and lead the Colonel offense at the top of the batting order, they would think he was deserving. And Robert Mosebach has been hung out to dry. 19 consecutive scoreless innings by the Colonel's offense. Otherwise, he's looking at probably being 6-2 and up there with Stephen Merrick and Nick Adenhart, who both made it. But the four guys that did make it are very pleased. Stephen Merrick about jumped through the roof when he found out. And I was not there when Bobby told Jordan that he was starting, but I think he probably had to have an inkling that with the numbers he'd put up, he would make the game and probably wind up in the starting lineup.
Todd, it was wonderful of you to get the news down to the clubhouse as quickly as you found out about it. And as we go along here, perhaps in about the third inning, Todd, I want you also to give us the latest on the draft, because this is a very big day for the futures, and I'm talking about 5 to 6, maybe even 7 to 8 years down the road, what happened today and what will happen tomorrow.
A very pensive day and a very joyful day. The cell phone rule on the bus, it sort of went by the wayside today. A lot of players on the Kernels knew someone who was drafted today or someone that expected to get drafted today. There were a lot of phone calls being made talking about who went where and everything like that. But you also have to remember, at this level of professional baseball, those guys that are getting drafted, they're competing for the job that you own right now. So that's the pensive part of draft day, is that another crop of 20 to 30 guys is going to come in down in Tempe and start competing for your job. So the guys were paying a lot of attention to what was going on in the draft today.
Well, Todd, we'll get to some of those specifics in the third inning or so. Thank you so much. Todd Brummelkamp bringing us up to speed on the All-Stars, and one fellow that Todd and I and Jack Rader and Bobby Magianis all agree that warranted higher consideration is the Colonel leadoff batter, Brad Kuhn. The game's first pitch from Trey Hearn is a strike, a fastball. We're underway here in Davenport. We'll be right back here tomorrow at noon, and that game will be in the zone. Right now, you're listening to Colonel Baseball on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. Hearn delivers, and there's a looping liner over the head of the third baseman, Daniel Nelson, into shallow left, and picking it up is Simon Williams, and Brad Kuhn has gotten the Colonel started off on the right foot here this evening as he looped a single over the head of Daniel Nelson, the drawn-in swing third baseman. Had he not been guarding against the bunt, Todd, I think he would have caught that ball, but he was in because Kuhn tries to bunt his way on at least once a game.
Well, and you saw it right there. That's a reason why he should be on the Midwest League All-Star team. And I didn't get a chance to ask Bobby whether he would use that as motivation for Brad tonight, but we'll see how this game plays out for Kuhn.
Brad stole 3 bases last night. Here's a bunt in the air by Heinle Stacia, caught about 10 feet in front of the base by Adam Rogers. So that bunt and run, not strictly a sacrifice, I'm sure, fails miserably as Heinle, who was 2 for 4 last night, popped it in the air, and it was an easy picking for Adam Rogers, who came in, about 10 feet in fair ground in front of first and caught Stacia's bunt pop-up. 1 gone here in the swing first inning. Here's Flint Whipke. Flint certainly has been swinging the bat well. He's up to 272, 1 home run, 17 RBIs, a throw to first, and Kuhn is back safely. Our umpires, as always, are brought to us by Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care in their new location on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. A full-service comprehensive eye care center. There's a change-up and a swing and a miss by Flint, strike 1. Flint, with a 2-out, 2-run double in the first last night, gave the Kernels a 2-0 lead. Flint had 7 hits in our series against the Bees, including a 5-for-5 day on Sunday. Big Uncle Charlie, and it's framed by Bryan Anderson, the catcher, but it's ruled a ball by the plate umpire. Bryan Anderson is 3rd in the league in hitting with a .329 average. He's one of 3 starters in the Western Division lineup. Todd, if you could go over those guys, I know we highlighted them, but all 3 are in the swing lineup tonight.
Bryan Anderson, a high school catcher out of California, is starting behind the plate on the West squad. Colby Rasmus, an outfielder that both of us like, is alongside Jordan Renz. And Randy Roth, the slugging designated hitter for the swing, will be the DH for the West.
Strike 2 called to Flint. Kuhn is being held at first by Adam Rogers. Brad leads the league with 20 steals. He's been caught 9 times. There's a throw to first, and Brad scrambles back. The Kernels trying to produce some offense here in the first inning for a guy who sure deserves it, Moose Mosebach. As Todd said, Moose has suffered through 19 innings of pitching without the Kernels getting him a run. The 1-2 from Trey Hearn is a slider and a swing and a miss by Flint Whipke. That pitch was high and outside. Flint couldn't lay off. 2 gone here in the Kernel first inning for Jordan Renz, who belted 3 home runs in our series with Burlington at home, including one last night that put the Kernels ahead, a leadoff blast in the 5th inning that gave the Kernels a 4-3 lead. Jordan drove in another run in the 6th inning with a sacrifice fly, and Jack Rader, Todd, said it was the shortest sacrifice fly he ever saw. It was into the front part, the part closest to the home plate area of the Kernel right field bullpen.
Very alert base running.
Kuhn is running, and a curve strike, no throw by catcher Bryan Anderson. Brad steals his league-high 21st of the year. Bryan Anderson made a wise decision not to throw to second. Kuhn had 4 to 5 steps towards second before Trey Hearn even broke to the plate with his curve for a strike to Jordan Renz. Now Jordan has an RBI chance. Breaking pitch upstairs, and it's 1-1 to Renz. Boy, Brad took a chance, Todd. He just lit out for second and was daring Trey Hearn to see him out of the corner of his eye.
He picked a great pitch to steal on that big slow curveball. He's practically standing on second before Anderson held the ball.
Outfield straightaway for Jordan on this sunshiny Tuesday night. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Jordan hitting .259. Leads the Midwest League with 13 homers and is driven in 43, second highest total in the league. Jordan, with a straightaway stance, wears a pair of black batting gloves and uses a black lacquer bat. Curve and a swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, the Kernels get a leadoff single from Brad Kuhn. He steals his league-high 21st base of the year, but the Kernels can't capitalize. No runs in the top of the first for the Kernels. 1 hit, a stolen base. There were no swing errors. The Kernels leave 1 man aboard. And after 1/2 inning, on a delightful night here in Davenport, it's the Kernels nothing and the Swing coming to bat. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
The setting here for baseball is really unparalleled anywhere in the minor leagues. The Mississippi River is the backdrop. We look across and see, the Centennial Bridge, first of all, beyond the right field foul pole, and beyond the center field wall, 400 feet away, across the river, the City of Rock Island Casino, formerly an armory. The scoreboard here at John O'Donnell Stadium is high above the left center field wall, and it's perched atop a grass slope seating berm that has several hundred people enjoying the action from the grass hillside. Also a grass slope seating berm and right. It serves as a protectorate, a flood wall, if you will. Daniel Nelson swats the first pitch foul from Moose Mosebach. We're underway in the Swing first inning. The Kernels had a leadoff single by Kuhn, who stole second with 2 outs, but was stranded as Moose Mosebach makes his 12th start of the year for the Kernels. Nelson, a switch hitter, batting left, and there's strike 2 called on the outside corner. Moose pitched his heart out Thursday, his last start at Alliant Energy Field in Clinton. 8 innings pitched. He allowed 1 run on 6 hits, struck out 2, walked 1. Daniel Nelson takes high for ball 1. The Colonel defense tonight has Stantrell Smith in left, Brad Kuhn in center, Jordan Renz in right. The 1-2 to Nelson. Slapped foul hard into the swing left field bullpen. 343 down the left field line here at John O'Donnell. And to the left of the 343 mark is a catwalk that allows you to walk all the way around the circumference of this beautiful ballpark. Here's a high, lazy fly ball into rather deep left. Stantrell Smith going back. Boy, Todd, that ball carried a lot further than I thought. Stantrell gloved it in front of the warning track for the first out of the inning.
Stantrell, he did a good job of backtracking and playing and getting under that ball and not losing it. But it did. Maybe that's a sign for the Colonel offense tonight that the ball will carry here and we'll get some gets going.
Richard Giannotti back in the Midwest League after the Angels let him go in spring training. Grounds one sharply to second. Larry Infante has it, and Richard is thrown out in his first at-bat as a swing. And, boy, Todd, it's just so gratifying to see Richard back in the game, and he looks like he's in great shape. And no one knows why the Angels decided to let Richard go, but the fact that the Cardinals, another great organization, wanted him means that he must be a pretty good player.
That's right, John, and even though he doesn't have the name on the back of his jersey yet, he sprinted out to right field. He hustled harder than probably 80% of the guys in this league would on a routine grounder to second base down the line there. And it's just good. It looks like he's tinkered a little bit with his batting stance, but it's good to see a good guy like Richard Giannotti back in affiliated professional baseball.
Colby Rasmus slaps a 1-0 pitch foul straight back. Todd, you have an interesting note about Colby's younger brother in today's draft.
That's right. Colby's younger brother, Corey Rasmus, who also attended Russell County High School in Sealy, Alabama, was a supplemental first-round draft pick by an organization that knows talent when it sees it. They do not make many mistakes. The Atlanta Braves. He was the 38th player taken in this year's draft, so he will likely sign with the Braves and join his brother Colby among the ranks of professional baseball players.
A 2-1 pitch from Mosebach is an off-speed delivery, swung on and tipped foul into the glove of Flint Whipke, the catcher. 2-2 to the Midwest League starter, Colby Rasmus, all-star starter. And he now lines one foul over the sweeps above the swing third base dugout. 400 feet to dead center here at John O'Donnell Stadium, a 12-foot high navy blue padded wall. Above it is a 20-foot high black net for the hitter's eye. Moose is 2-2. Drilled down the right field line into the Colonel bullpen. Brad Beck. Todd caught it on the fly in a chair.
Sitting in his chair, a rather laissez-faire. He sort of sticks his glove up there and now tosses the ball to a young fan. He's not even relishing in the moment out there.
Oh, those bullpen guys are a different breed, brother. Here's a broken bat looper over the head of Larry Infante. Larry retreating into shallow right and on the run. Larry Infante makes the catch to take a Texas League hit bid away from Colby Rasmus. How about Moose Mosebach? He sets the swing down in order. That's no small order, as Quad City is ranked second in the league in hitting with a .263 team average. 1-2-3-0 across for the swing in the bottom of the first inning. As we go to the second, Kernels and Quad Cities scoreless here from the banks of the Mississippi. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one.
Do you, Susan Swift, take Giuseppe Florentino?
You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
Well, I guess get at Cost Cutters?
Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
Dallas Morris is first up against right-hander Trey Hearn here in the top of the second. No score. The lights are on here at John O'Donnell Stadium, and a big crowd on hand. Hearn comes straight over the top and misses low to Dallas. Dallas Morris hitting .229. 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. Leading off here in the Kernels' second, no score. Dallas with a slightly open stance, very little bend in his knees, and he whistles the 1-0 pitch foul straight back. Last night, Dallas was 0 for 3. He walked twice. The outfield plays Morris straight away. The sun is a factor. Luis Cotto, the shortstop, using his glove to shade his eyes. Morris slashes the 1-1 pitch foul off to the right, strike 2. There's no grandstand roof here at John O'Donnell Stadium. It's open air. There are 15 rows of navy blue seats behind home plate and stretching out to the ends of the dugouts, and then a massive bleacher section that parallels the left field line. A big yellow hammer from the right-hander is up and in, and it's 2-2 to Morris. Kernels in their traditional gray road uniforms with red numbers trimmed in white, red socks and red lettering across the front that reads Cedar Rapids. A fastball in on the outside corner, and Dallas Morris shakes his head at the plate umpire. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Trey Hearn. Hearn last pitched as a starter this past Wednesday in the second game of a twin bill at Beloit. He shut out the Snappers in 4 innings, didn't figure in the decision a swing win, and in 4 innings at Pullman Field, he gave the Snappers no runs, 3 hits, struck out 2, walked none. And a sharp curve is taken at the knees, strike 1 to Mark Trumbo. Mark coming off a 6-hit series at home against Burlington, batting .208. 8 home runs, 25 runs driven in for the right-handed hitting Trumbo. Fastball, strike 2. Trey Hearn is wearing a long sleeve powder blue shirt underneath his vest white top for Quad Cities. The swing wear powder blue hats and powder blue socks. A fastball is wasted outside to Trumbo. What a picturesque setting it is here, and the All-Star game will be here. Can you believe it, Todd? In less than 2 weeks.
This first half has flown by.
A little number to third on 2 hops, charged by Daniel Nelson, and he throws with his momentum carrying him all the way across the back of the pitcher's mound to get Mark Trumbo. It went 5-3. Mark has hit an awfully lot of toppers this year, Todd, and that must be a function of just getting the lower half of the baseball on the bat.
Well, I'm still encouraged by the progress he's made at the plate lately. 4 for 5 on Sunday afternoon with Ty Van Berkelo here in town, and Mark seems to be coming around. Better late than never, and plus he's got the entire second half to turn his season around.
In 20 games, Stantrell Smith is batting .213, no homers, 5 RBIs. Stantrell batting with nobody on, 2 out here in the Kernels' second, no score. The 1-0. Curve, and that one's bounced to shortstop. Luis Cotto has it and throws high, and that's an error. High and leaping off first base, Adam Rogers to knock it down. Luis Cotto with a throwing error, his 8th error of the year, and Stantrell Smith hustling down that first baseline, reaches on the high throw from shortstop. Adam Rogers leapt high to prevent it from sailing beyond the first base line into foul ground, and Stantrell Smith is aboard on a 2-out throwing error by Luis Cotto. That brings up the Colonel designated hitter number 8 batter, Tyler Johnson. Tyler in 6 games batting .087, right-handed batter. The runner goes, now stops, and a strike is called to Tyler Johnson. Tyler reminds me, Todd, of a young Glenn Allen Hill.
Well, if we could get that production out of Tyler, that would be fantastic.
And hopefully that is on the horizon with some more ABs, some more at-bats. You know of a famous song by Merle Haggard involving Tyler Johnson's hometown.
That's right. He was born in Muskogee, Oklahoma.
There goes Stantrell Smith. The pitch, a strike. The throw to second. It's not in time. Stantrell just made it in. A one-hop throw fielded by Jose Martinez, who had the ball right in the sliding feet of Stantrell Smith. But Stantrell has the Colonel's second stolen base of the evening. As Tyler Johnson took the pitch for strike 2, it's 0-2 to Tyler. Now a tough chore for Johnson. He has to come out of an 0-2 hole and try to put the ball in play with Stantrell Smith in scoring position here in the second inning. No score. Johnson, a right-handed batter. Swings at a curveball and misses. Strike 3. And that does it for the Kernels here in the second. Already 4 strikeouts for Trey Hearn, the right-hander, making his third start for the swing. The Colonel strikeout total continues to astound me. How many of our guys strike out? No runs in the second for the Colonels, no hits. An error committed by the swing, a stolen base by Stantrell Smith, but he's stranded. And after an inning and a half here in Davenport, Colonels nothing, swing nothing. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
June is Perennial Gardening Month at Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. And they're your perennial plant experts with the best selection of perennials in eastern Iowa. You can start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. From Peck's selection of quality perennials, they'll help you select the right ones for your garden or yard. Each week during the month of June, this month, Peck's will feature a perennial plant available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you stroll through Peck's many acres of plants and flowers. Stop in to visit the plant people at Peck's as you start your perennial garden or add to your existing one. Peck's, they're celebrating 50 years of growing in eastern Iowa. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping. They're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast. Quad City comes to bat for the second time in this game against Moose Mosebach. Moose's ERA, 3.17, lower than that of the Kernel team. The Kernels are ranked 7th, right in the middle of the Midwest League in pitching with a 3.52 earned run average. Randy Roth, as Todd mentioned in the first inning, is one of 3 position players that earn starting roles on the Western Division team. Randy is the cleanup batter tonight. The DH, and ball 1 is high to Roth. Randy was a 10th-round pick of St. Louis last year out of Southeastern Louisiana University. He's a strong right-handed batter and bats from a low crouch. And a Moose Mosebach changeup tips low, ball 2. Randy Roth hitting .309 with 12 home runs, second to only our Jordan Renz and 40 RBIs. A strike on the outside corner, right where Flint Whipkey set up. It's Morris at third, Stacia at short, Infante at second, and Mark Trumbo playing way off the line at first for the Kernels. Randy Roth tags one off the end of the bat, tailing towards the right field foul pole, and it's into the Kernel bullpen, foul, beyond the reach of Jordan Renz and Larry Infante. Parallel to the right field line here at John O'Donnell is a big picnic tarmac. It's just a slab of concrete with picnic tables, and the fans are congregated along that railing from the Kernel first base dugout all the way down to the Kernel right field bullpen. It's quite a sight to see those fans lined up or leaning against that railing. Roth ahead 2-1. Rather, the count was 2-2, and Mosebach's fastball clocked at 91 miles an hour, according to the speed pitch indicator on the lower panel of the scoreboard in left center, is inside and low, ball 3. The payoff pitch for Moose. Corked up the middle. There's Larry Infante moving quickly to his right. Larry gloves, and the long throw to first gets Randy Roth. I'll tell you, Todd, you were with Larry Infante when you gave him the thrill of his young pro career, driving him to Des Moines to suit up for our AAA Salt Lake team. He's been a different player since that opportunity.
Really a boost of confidence. Larry had his batting average around, I think, 127 or something like that when he was sent over to Des Moines. And from the minute he got out of my car and walked into that clubhouse, the Salt Lake clubhouse at Sec Taylor Stadium, now Principal Park in Des Moines, his eyes lit up. He carried himself with, I remember watching him come out of the clubhouse. He just had a little extra swagger.
Bryan Anderson with a bid for a base hit. Hits one sharply up the middle, but there's Heinle Stacia ranging far to his left to reach down and nab it, and Heinle throws on to first to get Bryan Anderson. 5 straight retired by Moose Mosebach, and with 2 gone here in the bottom of the second, Jose Martinez will bat for the swing. Yeah, Todd, sometimes it just takes something like that, a sudden call-up to AAA to ignite a guy and give him confidence and make him know that the organization values him as a player. Strike one is in to the right-handed hitting Jose Martinez, a fastball from Mosebach. The Kernels are in their all navy blue caps tonight. Worm burner to short. Heinle Stacia has it and throws in plenty of time. Jose Martinez rolls out to short, and that is the second 1-2-3 inning by the Kernel starter, Moose Mosebach. My goodness, has he sparkled this season in the Kernel rotation. We're already going into the top of the third inning here at John O'Donnell Stadium before a big crowd, and it's the Kernels and Swings scoreless. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Diet Pepsi is taking you to the movies. All kinds of movies, like horror films.
Hey, there's a guy with a hockey mask outside. Let's go see what he wants. Okay.
Sci-fi films.
Gentlemen, we're in luck. Those aliens speak American.
Kung Fu movies.
Your English voiceover. Look. Terrible. Taste my nunchucks.
Teen flicks.
I am so ugly. Well, you'd be hot if you ditched your glasses and your nerdy side ponytail. Oh, my gosh. I am hot.
Foreign films.
Les French fries, the French toast. Baguette, les bougelets. Les croissants.
Crime films.
So, did you find anything?
Only this computer disk labeled totally incriminating evidence.
I'll keep looking.
Introducing the Diet Pepsi box office promotion. Find a code in specially marked Diet Pepsi packages. Collect and enter codes at dietpepsiboxoffice.com to redeem for a movie ticket, even to action movies.
Well, the bad guy's dead. I'll just turn my back.
I can't believe you fell for that.
Light, crisp, refreshing Diet Pepsi.
Subject to official rules, void where prohibited. 63006. Multiple purchases required. See website for redemption details.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
We're back at home for another Saturday night fireworks show. This Saturday, we kick off an 8-game homestand that will lead us up to the All-Star break. Bank of the West will sponsor fireworks this Saturday night, June 10th. The gates open at 6. The game starts at 7 for Bank of the West Fireworks Night. That's this Saturday. Then Sunday, it's Bark at the Park. You can bring your dog to the ballpark, sit in the grass berm section, and then watch Rockin' Ray and Sky Dogs USA perform throughout the afternoon. That's a Sunday family fun day at the ballpark. Popcorn's only $1. The Kernels sign autographs between $1.20 and $1.40. And Velocity Sports Performance invites you to run the bases after the game this Sunday, June 11th. Larry Infante, the number 9 hitter for the Kernels, will bat against right-hander Trey Hearn. Hearn has pitched just 28 innings this season, allowed 27 hits. And a changeup is tipped foul underneath the glove of the catcher Bryan Anderson. Strike one to the 160 hitting left-handed batter Larry Infante. Larry didn't play in last night's series finale at home against Burlington. Another changeup. This one is low and outside, and Larry took it for ball one. Larry, one of the few Kernels that consistently wears his red socks up high like the old-timers. Ball two is just inside. Skydog USA and Rockin' Ray will be at the ballpark for Bark at the Park this Sunday afternoon. The gates open at 1. Infante drills one to deep right, sending Giannotti back. Richards on the track and has it. Larry Infante hit it about 325 feet, and he forced Richard Giannotti, a regular for the Kernels last year, to go back onto the warning track to make the catch. Larry made a bid for his second home run of the year, and it fell just short in right field.
And not only that, he was making a bid to break that scoreless streak of now 21 1/3 innings behind Robert Mosebach.
Boy, that is some kind of frustration. Here's a bunt up the first base line. Hearn gloves it, underhands to first just in time to get Brad Kuhn. A marvelous fielding play by the starter, Trey Hearn, as he had to dash quickly to his left. The bunt by Kuhn looked good enough to me to be a base hit. It went 2/3 of the way up the first base line, hugged the line parallel to it, and somehow Trey Hearn not only got to the ball, but underhanded to Adam Rogers just in time to get Brad Kuhn. And there are quickly 2 out here in the Kernel third inning. That play went 1-3. Todd, when Kuhn laid that one down, I thought it was a base hit.
I did too, and Trey Hearn deserves all the credit in the world for making that play. He, falling down, must have put some spin on the ball to sort of get it to English back around Kuhn and into the glove of Rogers at first base.
Ball one high to Heinle Stacia. Heinle lines one into center, and that's a base hit. Heinle Stacia has the first Kernel hit since Kuhn's leadoff single in the first. Heinle drilled it over the head of the pitcher as Colby Rasmus gets it back in for Quad Cities. And the Kernels have their third base runner of the evening. Heinle Stacia may be trying to do some running. This series features the 2 best base-stealing teams in the league. The 2 teams with the highest totals, that is. The Kernels have a league-high 76 stolen bases, and the Swing are right behind us with 72 steals. Flint Whipke at the plate. A throw to first, and Heinle's back safely. No score here in the top of the third inning, and the Kernels have Stacia at first with 2 gone. Flint Whipke struck out in the first inning. Flint, a right-handed batter, points his elbow high back towards our vantage point, right behind home plate here at John O'Donnell. A light breeze is blowing from the right field foul pole towards the grass slope seating berm in left field. Outfield for the Swing plays Flint straight away. A high fastball swung on and missed. Todd, why is that such a tough pitch for kids at this level to lay off of, that pitch just above the chin?
I have no idea, because I was about 20 levels below this level. I couldn't hit a fastball if it was right down the middle of the plate, let alone chin high.
Swing and a miss on a letter-high fastball, and it's 0-2 to Flint Whipke. Flint steps out and regroups. Now Colby Rasmus takes a few steps into right center, and there's a huge gap in left center for Flint Whipke. A throw to first by Trey Hearn, and back safely is Stacia. Trey Hearn, a winner against the Kernels at our ballpark back on May 18th, 10-5. He struck out 5 in 2 2/3 innings of work. The runner goes, a pitch out. Stacia is a goner at second on a head-first slide. It was a pitch out for ball 1 to Whipke, and Jose Martinez, the second baseman, had the ball waiting for the head-first sliding Heinle Stacia. The caught stealing goes catcher to second, and the Swing must have stolen the Kernel signs because they knew Stacia was running. No runs in the third for the Kernels. 1 hit. A man caught trying to steal second to end the inning. There were no swing errors. The Kernels leave. The bases empty. After 2.5 at John O'Donnell, it's still the Kernels nothing and Quad Cities nothing. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Don't
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. Moose Mosebach is yet to allow a base runner. He's facing the lower third of the swing order in this scoreless series opener. Remember, tomorrow we'll be on the air at 11:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, a noon start here in Davenport. Luis Cotto sends one in the air to left center. Brad Kuhn is coming on harder now, and Brad arrives in time to bring it down. And that's 7 in a row retired by Mosebach as Cotto flies to center. Todd, you made a good point about the omission of Brad Kuhn on the All-Star team. Not only does he lead the league in stolen bases, but he's probably made half a dozen catches this season that would be on ESPN's Web Gems if they were big league catches.
He's by far the best defensive center fielder that I've seen in this league so far this year, and I might go so far as to say best defensive outfielder. He's made some fantastic plays out there. He covers a lot of ground. And also what his ability to do things on the base paths and at the plate. This guy should have been an all-star. It baffles me how he could not make it.
Same with me, as Adam Rogers is even on the count 1-1. Adam is a strong, husky, 6', 205-pound right-handed batter out of Rice University in Houston, Texas.
There was only one reserve outfielder.
Here's a high fly ball into shallow right. Coming on to glove it is Jordan Renz. Adam Rogers is the 8th batter in a row that Moose Mosebach has set down. 2 gone here in the third. Todd, who was the one reserve outfielder for the West?
Casey Craig of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. And just for fun, we're going to look and see what Casey's statistics are, because I'm going to go on a limb and say he doesn't hold a candle to Brad Kuhn.
Simon Williams, who was a real menace to Colonel pitching last season, throws left-handed, bats right-handed, hitting 167 in 12 games. And Mosebach's first pitch is high, ball 1. Simon, 11th round pick by the Cardinals out of the University of Maine. He's 23 years old, and he hit 287 here last year in 64 games. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in, and Todd, what's the verdict on Mr. Craig from the Timber Rattlers?
Well, he's hitting 267 with 5 home runs and 30 RBIs and 10 stolen bases. So a fairly decent ball player, but I'll give the nod to our guy any day of the week there.
Strike 2 call to the tall right-handed batter, Simon Williams. Moose Mosebach is ahead of the number 9 batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score, bottom of the third, as Mosebach is trying to retire Quad City in order for the 3rd time in a row. A slider misses low and outside, and it's 2-2 to Williams. Keith Mitchell is coaching at third for Quad Cities, and Steve Dillard at first. We'll have Todd tell you a little bit about Steve Dillard in a moment. The 2-2, and it's fouled off the chest protector of Whipkey by Simon Williams. Todd, you know the Midwest League better than anybody I've ever known, and you remember Steve Dillard before I was in this league.
That's right. He managed here in Davenport when they were the River Bandits in 1993 and 94, back when they were a Houston Astros affiliate.
Ball 3 is low and away to Simon Williams, the fastball.
Of course, the 1993 was the year of the Great Flood. And the River Bandits were forced to play a lot of their games at Brady Street Stadium, which is just down the street from the Clarion Hotel, where we'll be spending the evening here in Davenport. A oddity, if you will, on our travel schedule, and one that threw our equipment manager for a little bit of a curveball today, but we're fully prepared. Everyone was informed to bring their change of clothes. And
ball 4 misses low and away, and a good at bat for Simon Williams as he was in the hole 1 and 2. Simon reaches, and that's the first base runner allowed by the slender, tall Colonel right-hander. Moose is wearing his gray road pants all the way down to his shoe tops. He comes set just above the letters, and the first pitch to Daniel Nelson is inside, ball 1. It missed just a bit inside. Yeah, you're right, Todd. We very rarely stay overnight on these so-called commuters, but tonight's an exception because we're right back here for Game 2 at noon tomorrow. A bouncer to short. Easy for Heinle Statia, who underhands to second baseman Larry Infante for the force of Simon Williams. Daniel Nelson bounces into a 6-4 force out, and that does it for Quad Cities in the bottom of the third. No runs for the swing, no hits, a 2-out walk. There were no Colonel errors. Quad Cities leaves their first man stranded of the game. We're already moving into the top of the 4th inning, and here in Davenport, it's the Kernels nothing and Quad Cities nothing. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
We're scoreless as Flint Whipke leads off from his number 3 slot in the Colonel order. Top of the 4th inning. Flint was at the plate when Heinle Statia was thrown out trying to steal second on a pitch out. First pitch to Whipke. Fastball over but low from Trey Hearn. We'll have a chance, as we do during all of our road broadcasts, for you to earn a couple of rewards to Bruce Moore in the top of the 5th inning. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza will come your way, and I think we'll have you email. Here's a ground ball, just foul, past third. Diving for it was Daniel Nelson. Strike 1 on Flint. Todd, can the folks email you on your computer, or I don't know enough about computers. Can they use my email address on your computer?
Oh, they can email you.
Great. Todd, I know that a lot of fans are eager to find out about the Angel first-round pick earlier today, as ball 2 is low and away to Whipke. And it's an interesting scenario because Mark Trumbo has first-hand knowledge of what the Angels are going to have to do.
Well, that's right. The Angels today, with their sandwich pick in the first round, or their supplemental pick, I should say the 25th pick overall, took Hyung Choi Conger.
Here's a high pop foul drifting into the Colonel bullpen, brought down by Adam Rogers. Flint Whipke fouls out down the first base side and one away here in the 4th inning. Well, that makes for interesting pronunciation challenges, and I know that I can't even repeat his first name, but it's shortened a bit.
That's right. His grandfather nicknamed him Hank, after Hank Aaron. And he's from Huntington Beach High School in Huntington Beach, California. Mark Trumbo knows him well. I believe he played against him in high school, but Conger was headed to USC, the same school Mark Trumbo was headed to before signing with the Angels.
Jordan Renz lashes a pitch hard and a leaping stab at second by Jose Martinez. Renz, first pitch swinging, lines out to second. 2 gone quickly here in the Colonel fourth inning. No score.
Now, that name sounds familiar if you're a Little League World Series fan. 6 years ago, Conger hit 34 home runs for the Huntington Beach Little League team that fell a victory shy of winning the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And he is one of 13 picks by the Angels that we know of today.
And we'll give the position breakdown in a moment as Dallas Morris takes a strike called from Trey Hearn.
Well distributed over the first 13 picks. We had 4 college players, including the first 2 junior college players and 7 high school players, including the first 3 choices in the draft by the Angels, all coming out of high school. They took 8 pitchers and 5 position players in the first 13 rounds.
Swing and a miss by Morris on a high fastball. 0-2 to Dallas. Now a curve outside. No score. We're in the top of the fourth inning. The Kernels have had 2 hits and had a man reach on an error. The Swing have had 1 runner tonight. A 2-out walk issued by Moose Mosebach in the bottom of the third. Morris takes a curve low. Ball 2.
6 picks after Conger went to the Angels, the Los Angeles Dodgers selected Preston Mattingly, the son of former Yankee great Don Mattingly. It's fun to see these names pop up of the former big leaguers.
Here's a bouncer up the middle. Jose Martinez to his right has it and throws out Dallas Morris. Boy, that Jose Martinez is playing with a lot of confidence at second base. The Kernels go in order for the first time tonight in the top of the fourth inning. And, Todd, how many innings has it been since the Kernels gave Moose Mosebach a run?
I've got the count at 23 now, John.
That's just unbelievable that an offense unable to get a pitcher, Moose Mosebach, a run in 23 consecutive innings. Well, Moose is back to the hill for the bottom of the fourth. Remember, coming up in the top of the fifth, your chance to earn a couple of rewards from Bruce Moore in our Bruce Moore Bonanza Challenge. After 3.5 here at John O'Donnell on a terrific night for a series opener, it's the Kernels and Swing, no score. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this. Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
We're scoreless as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Dallas Morris at third, well acquainted with Richard Giannotti's great ability to bunt. Giannotti, a Colonel regular last year, is batting second for the Swing tonight. He's now property of the St. Louis Cardinals, a switch hitter batting left. As Todd said, he's opened his stance up, and he squares the bunt, now pulls the bat back, and boy, what was wrong with that pitch? Ball 1 outside, I guess.
John, you said you had the opportunity to talk to the G-Man before the game, and he said he didn't want to really show up the Kernels, but he was going to play very hard tonight.
As always, here's a high pop foul for Dallas Morris. Just 5 feet to the left of the third base foul line, about 10 feet in front of the base. Richard Giannotti's retired on a foul pop. 1 away here in the Swing. Fourth inning, Richard Giannotti pops out foul to Dallas Morris, and boy, Moose Mosebach has retired. 12 of the first 13 batters he's faced. Here's Colby Rasmus with 5 homers, 28 RBIs, 14 doubles, 13 stolen bases, and a .296 average. The 19-year-old takes a breaking pitch low for ball 1. Colby Rasmus, left-handed batter, straightaway stance, black lacquer bat, black gloves, and a swing and a miss on a changeup.
I'll tell you, John, the way things are going for Moose, he's going to go back to Cedar Rapids and find a flat tire in his car and his dog run over. He just cannot get anything to go right for him.
At least offensively. Here's a pitch in the dirt, and he has no control over that. That's the frustrating part, is that you wish as a pitcher you could grab a bat yourself and take a few swings to help your cause.
Well, the thing I like about Robert is he has just been workmanlike throughout this entire offensive drought. He takes the mound with almost a march out to the mound and off the mound. Very businesslike. I have not seen him verbally confront his teammates over their lack of run support. He's a professional, and that's something scouts will notice as they see his numbers. His numbers are fine. He's just not picking up any wins.
The 2-2 pitch is mashed foul in the air over the bleacher section down the left field side. The wall in center field here is 12 feet high, and there are only 4 advertising signs on the outfield wall. They're embedded into that right center and left center field wall, just to the right and left of the batter's eye. Here's a hard hit smash into right, and it's the first hit of the night for the swing. Colby Rasmus cranks it into right field. Jordan Renz gets it back in, and the Swing have their first hit of the night. It comes with 1 away here in the 4th inning by Colby Rasmus.
You know, that reminds me of a conversation we had with our friend Sherrard Clinkscales, the Atlanta Braves. We were discussing Cameron Maben from West Michigan and Justin Upton from South Bend, and Sherrard said, which one of those guys has impressed you the most? And I said, neither one of them. Colby Rasmus from the Quad Cities. What a fun guy to watch hit.
A pitch in the dirt, and Flint Whipke prevents the go-ahead run from advancing to second. Ball 1 to Randy Roth. The Kernels would love a double play here. I'm very surprised that Randy Roth is second in the league in hits with 67, not because he's not a good hitter. He's one of the best in the league, but he does not have good running speed. A throw to first, and diving back safely, hand first, is Colby Rasmus. Todd, do you notice how Colby uses his gloves as protection for the palms of his hands? He uses them as sliding pads.
Well, and that reminds me of a baseball card I have of Colonel's hitting coach Eric Owens, where he is doing the exact same thing for the Winston-Salem Spirits back in the Carolina League when E.O. was on his way up. He's down in that crouch holding those gloves. And what a good-looking young kid, an 18, 19-year-old kid who just about 13 months ago was worried about his high school prom. And here he is just raking hits off guys that are 2, 3, 4 years older than he is.
1-1 now to Randy Roth as he swung and missed at the 1-0 pitch from Moose Mosebach. Moose again throws to first, and Rasmus, 13 for 17 in stolen base attempts, dives back safely. This big crowd starting to get on Moose Mosebach for that continued pattern of throwing over to first. Randy Roth bats from a deep crouch, open stance, holds the bat high above his back ear, and takes a terrific breaking pitch, strike 2 called from Moose.
I think that was a slider. It had some nasty bite to it.
This game's in the bottom of the 4th inning. There's no score, and we're nearing the top of the hour. You're enjoying it here on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. Mosebach set, delivers. Swinging a foul. Randy Roth had a pitch up in his wheelhouse and tomahawked it foul straight back. Are you surprised, Todd, at the number, the growing number? I think it's 5 teams now at home have their names on the back of their home jerseys.
In this ever-changing business of baseball, minor league baseball, where you strive to be as big league as possible, no, I am not really surprised. I look at our own manager, Bobby Magianis, making a request that we get that special ball cart for the balls during batting practice, when most places just use a folding chair and a David Sunflower Seeds 5-gallon bucket. You want to be as big league as possible. You want these kids to feel like they're big leaguers and give them a taste of what's to come as they keep moving on up the ladder. So, no, John, I'm not surprised.
The 1-2 to Randy Roth. There goes the runner, and a pitch bounced to first. Mark Trumbo's only play. Well, now wait a minute. The plate umpire's pointing to third. Was time called?
No, he's signaling that it's a fair ball.
Okay, why didn't Roth run?
I think Roth is arguing or thought that it came off his foot.
Okay, well, a bouncer to first. Colby Rasmus was running. An easy play for Trumbo as Mark left it on 2 hops. It was a hit-and-run attempt is what it was, and Randy Roth never left the batting box. An unassisted put-out at first by Trumbo. On to second, Colby Rasmus. And now here's Bryan Anderson, left-handed hitting all-star catcher, 19 years old, Cardinal prospect, who grounded to shortstop his first time up. Strike one at the knees to Bryan Anderson. This is the first time tonight that the Swing have had a runner in scoring position. It's Colby Rasmus at second with 2 gone, and left-handed hitting Bryan Anderson, just 19 years old, a 4th-round pick of the Redbirds last year at the plate. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Boy, Moose seems, Todd, to have command of every pitch, his fastball, changeup, and slider so far tonight.
He has control of everything except the Kernels' offense.
Exactly. That's the one thing beyond his ability to affect a fastball high and outside. Moose put a little extra juice on that one, 91 miles an hour. Wasted it high and away. Bryan Anderson with 1 home run, 20 RBIs. Batting with Colby Rasmus at second. 2 away, bottom of the 4th, no score. Anderson with an open stance. Takes it low. Ball 2.
You almost, again, wonder if maybe like Brad Kuhn, Robert Mosebach, who was nominated for Midwest League All-Star consideration, isn't using this as his All-Star game here at John O'Donnell Stadium, where the game will be played on the 20th. He looks every bit the part of an All-Star tonight.
Swing and a tip foul. Boy, that one right at the feet of catcher Flint Whipke. Anderson somehow got a piece of it.
I'll tell you what, if you're a St. Louis Cardinal fan, there are some fun, exciting prospects, albeit them young. We've seen Jaime Garcia, the left-hander with the big league curveball, Rasmus, Anderson. They're on their way, Cardinals fans.
Swinging a foul by Bryan Anderson straight back. And, Todd, you know you're talking to a lifetime Cardinal fan. I grew up in Alton, Illinois, just on the other side of both the Missouri and Mississippi rivers from St. Louis, and seeing guys like Jack Wilson and Brent Butler and Derek Barton and Danny Herron traded really hurt me or sorrowed me, as Tony La Russa and Walt Jocketty and pitching coach Dave Duncan, they don't have as much patience with young players as a lot of organizations do.
No, and that's a philosophy that surprises me a little bit.
Swing and a miss! Bryan Anderson strikes out swinging for the final out here in the 5th. We're going to keep it right here. No runs, 1 hit for the Swing. There were no Colonel errors. Quad City leaves 1. They've stranded 2. Before we get to the Bruce Moore Bonanza, Todd, you mentioned that it surprises you that the Cardinal management, I believe at least as a Cardinal fan, I don't think they're very patient with young players.
Well, you know, you look at what La Russa and Duncan did at Oakland back in the mid to late 80s. They were patient with a lot of young guys. Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, just to name a few. But I think you're right. They have jumped at the temptation to use those young guys as trade fodder. And it's brought them guys like Mark Mulder. But at the same point in time, Derek Barton is rocketing up the Oakland Athletics farm system. And you hate to see your prospects that you've put money into and time and effort into developing go on to stardom with other teams. And that's what the Cardinals have done.
Well, as I said, we're going to keep it right here. We have that latitude as we go to the 5th inning on this delightful Tuesday evening. No score between the Kernels and Swing. Here's our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. If you've already won a Bruce Moore Bonanza prize or reward, that's great. Please don't email us this evening. This evening you can earn 2 tickets to the Classic at Bruce Moore's production of the Fantastics and a Bruce Moore souvenir booklet. And here's our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. It's from earlier this spring when we stumped you, but I assured you that if you log on to Bruce Moore's website right now, I don't think you'll have any trouble coming up with the answer. That Bruce Moore website is www.brucemore.org, BRUCEMORE.org. And you'll email me the answer to the question and your name and address to john@kernels.com, JOHN@kernels, KERNELS.com. Here we go. As you all know, Bruce Moore is a great asset to our community, a historic site and a community cultural center. Who in 1981 decided to leave Bruce Moore to the National Trust for Historic Preservation? What person who decided in 1981 to leave Bruce Moore to the National Trust for Historic Preservation? You can email me now at john@kernels.com, JOHN@kernels, KERNELS.com. In fact, Todd has gotten on to the Bruce Moore website, and Todd, you can confirm that answer almost jumps out at you, doesn't it?
It's pretty easy to find, John.
All right. Mark Trumbo has taken a couple of pitches for strikes. He's in the hole 0-2. As we go to the top of the fifth inning, no score. Trey Hearn with the 0-2 delivery. Curve and a swing and a miss. That strikeout is the fifth of the game for Trey Hearn. The Swing have some activity. Well, they did in their bullpen. Now, nobody throwing. One away here in the fifth inning. Stantrell Smith at the plate. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. In 1981, who decided to leave Bruce Moore to the National Trust for Historic Preservation, thus making it a historic site and a cultural community center? Stantrell Smith bunts the first pitch foul over the backstop, strike one. Must have been a good play by a fan below, because the crowd is cheering louder for that than they have anything on the field so far in this scoreless pitching duel between right-hander Trey Hearn and Colonel right-hander Moose Mosebach. The answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza question can be found on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org, BRUCEMORE.org. A checks or a half swing by Stantrell, even around, strike two. Stantrell Smith reached on a throwing error by shortstop Luis Cotto with 2 out in the second, then stole second, and now a breaking pitch is low. Ball one to Stantrell. No score. The Colonels have out hit the Swing 2-1. And we're in the top of the fifth inning. Smith, a right-handed hitter, bashes a curveball over third base. Daniel Nelson rockets his throw across the diamond and made a tough play look easy as Stantrell Smith hit it sharply right over the base at third. I don't know why Daniel Nelson was guarding the line like that, but he was. And there are 2 gone here in the Colonel fifth inning for Tyler Johnson. You'll email your answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza to Todd and I here in Davenport, John, JOHN, @Kernels, KERNELS.com. Strike one, a fastball on the outside corner to Trey Johnson. The Colonels have now been held scoreless by Trey Hearn for 2 2/3 plus 5 2/3. How many innings is that total, Todd? 2 2/3 from May 18th and 5 2/3 tonight. That's 8 1/3 innings. Curve and a swing and a miss by Trey Johnson. He's in the hole 0-2. Or Tyler Johnson. Now a breaking pitch low and away. Tyler thought about it but held up. 5 in a row retired by the swing right-hander Trey Hearn. There's a curve low and away. Ball 2. Who decided to leave Bruce Moore to the National Trust for Historic Preservation in 1981? That's our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Tyler Johnson takes low and away. Ball 3. Count full now. Your reward, if you email us with the right answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza, 2 tickets to the classic at Bruce Moore's production of The Fantastics and a Bruce Moore souvenir book. Here's the payoff pitch to the Colonel number 8 hitter. High drive into right. Richard Giannotti has it measured. He's there and has it. Well, I credit Tyler Johnson for putting the ball in play. He flies out to right, and that's 6 in a row set down by Trey Hearn. The Colonel futility continues as 5 scoreless innings now by Trey Hearn. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th here at John O'Donnell Stadium, it's still the Kernels nothing and the Swing nothing. We'll give you one more chance to earn those 2 prizes from Bruce Moore. Another crack at the Bruce Moore Bonanza question coming up in the Swing 5th inning. As we head to the bottom of the 5th, Kernels nothing, Quad Cities nothing, and you're tuned to Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
This game goes to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4 hits in the game. Well, the scoreboard says 4 hits. I have the Kernels with... They have the Kernels with 3. I have us with 2. Here's a ground ball hit sharply to Dallas Morris's left. Dallas dives, throws to first, and he took a hit away from Jose Martinez. Boy, I'll tell you what, Todd. That was some play by the Colonel third baseman. Sheer reaction and quick reflexes. A hard hit smash by Martinez to Dallas's left. Dallas was playing in on the grass at third, and he took a hit away with a diving one-hop stab.
Well, coming into the season, we knew a lot about Dallas Morris's offensive potential, but he's really surprised in the way he's thrown the leather around out there and really been a solid defensive stopper for the Kernels.
Ball 1 to Luis Cotto. We promised you one more crack at the Bruce Moore Bonanza question here from Davenport. You'll find the answer by logging on to Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org. And the question is, who decided to leave Bruce Moore to the National Trust for Historic Preservation in 1981? What person did that? A 2-0 pitch is slapped foul behind home plate by Luis Cotto. You'll find the answer on the Bruce Moore website, www.brucemore.org, BRUCEMORE.org. And you can email me the answer along with your name and address to John, JOHN, at Kernels, KERNELS.com. The 2-2 pitch is bounced foul to the railing of the Swing third base dugout. Luis Cotto has been around. Broke in with the Kansas City organization way back in the year 2000. Cotto's 24 years old. And he wraps the 2-2 pitch foul. This one chopped into the Quad City third base wigwam. Big crowd on hand here tonight. Twilight is turning into dusk. And a pitching duel extraordinaire between Colonel starter Moose Mosebach and Trey Hearn of the Swing. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Luis Cotto's caught looking, and Moose Mosebach with his second strikeout of the evening. 2 away here in the Swing fifth inning. No score. Todd, I can't believe it, but the official score, and I'm not arguing, I'm glad they've decided to give Stantrell Smith a hit, but there's no way that Stantrell Smith should be awarded a hit for that throwing error by Cotto back in the second inning, but that's what the scoreboard indicates.
Well, it's not too often you can get a favorable ruling from the official score here in the Quad Cities, so we'll bite our tongue. John, is the answer Margaret Hall?
Yes! to the Bruce Moore Bonanza? It sure is. I hope we have a winner.
We do have a winner, John.
All right, ball 2 outside. Who is it, Todd?
It's Sandy Franz of Cedar Rapids.
Sandy Franz of Cedar Rapids, congratulations. You've earned yourself 2 tickets to the Classic at Bruce Moore and to the production of Fantastics. Here's a towering pop-up that should end the 5th inning. Heinle Stacia calling for it. Heinle squeezes it. Adam Rogers is popped out to Stacia. That's 5 shutout innings for Colonel starter Moose Mosebach. Sandy Franz, Franz, congratulations. You're our Bruce Moore Bonanza question winner here from Davenport. We'll repeat the question, give the answer that Todd shared with our listeners, and review the Bruce Moore Bonanza when the Kernels come to bat in the top of the 6th inning. After 5, on the banks of the Mississippi, in Davenport, it's the Kernels nothing and Quad Cities nothing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physical Therapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physical Therapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are 2 hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes. Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Larry Infante, who flew out to deep right, chasing former Colonel Richard Giannotti to the warning track, has fouled one off to the right to start the Colonel's 6th inning, no score. Larry, the number 9 hitter, now strokes one foul down the left field line.
And that reminds me, John, of a conversation I overheard in the batting cage before the start of the game. Bobby and Colonel's hitting coach Eric Owens trying to get Larry to lay off that same pitch in batting practice.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's 6 strikeouts for Trey Hearn. And Todd, what pitch were they trying to get Larry to lay off of?
The low and away. It was basically just a fastball or a changeup, not a breaking ball low and away, just balls low and away. Larry's such a free swinger. He's even a free swinger in the batting cage. And Bobby doing a good job of explaining things en Espanol to Larry.
Brad Kuhn has done everything to try to help the Colonel score a run for Moose Mosebach. He singled to lead off the game, stole second with 2 outs, but was stranded. Tried to bunt his way on in the 3rd, and a good play by the pitcher prevented Brad from reaching. And there's strike 1, a foul straight back. 1-1 to Kuhn. No score, top of the 6th. Congratulations once again to our Bruce Moore Bonanza question winner, Sandy Franz. Yes, Sandy, Margaret Hall decided to lead Bruce Moore to the National Trust for Historic Preservation in 1981. Ball 2, low to Kuhn. We'll give you our first look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here in the 6th inning. Brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, Gary Schubat, and Al Shetler. Ball 3, low to Kuhn. And Todd will start with the American League tonight.
No finals yet. Everything getting underway late. It's Toronto on top of Baltimore 5-3 in the top of the 7th at Camden Yards.
Strike 2 to Kuhn, and that runs the count full to the Colonel leadoff hitter, left-handed batter.
Oakland and Cleveland are knotted up 6-6 at Jacobs Field. Oakland has tied that game with 2 runs in the top of the 8th. They continue to bat.
The payoff to Kuhn is grounded to first. Brad fisted it to the first baseman, and And Adam Rogers fields it and beats Brad to the base. 2 gone here in the Kernels 6th, and that is now 8 straight retired by Trey Hearn, making his 3rd start of the season for Quad Cities.
It's another classic Boston and New York matchup. The Yankees and the Red Sox tied at 1 run apiece in the top of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. Our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, looking to avenge a loss to Tampa Bay yesterday, and Joe Madden. The Angels up 7-1 in the top of the 7th inning. They've scored 3 runs and are still batting against the Devil Rays at Tropicana Field.
Heinle Stacia, switch hitter, batting left, 1 for 2 tonight. Took a strike and now a fastball high.
Freddie Garcia on the mound for the world champion Chicago White Sox at the cell on the south side, and the Detroit Tigers on top 3-1 in the top of the 4th.
Ball too low to Station. We're scoreless here with 2 out. Kernels batting top of the 6th inning, and 2-1 to Heinle.
Texas and Kansas City tied at 1. That game at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, and Minnesota and Seattle set to get underway at about 9:05 this evening out at Safeco Field.
Stacia takes low, ball 3. 3-1 to Heinle.
We'll move to the National League in the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Washington trails Atlanta 4-3. That game at Turner Field.
A changeup on a 3-1 pitch is strike 2 called to Stacia. Heinle was trying to get a break from the umpire. Took a step or 2 towards first, but the count's full now as Hearn's payoff delivery is on the way to Heinle. A high drive into deep center, but plenty of room for Colby Rasmus to range back and put it away for the final out here in the Kernels 6th inning, and that's 9 in a row retired by Trey Hearn. We're going to keep it right here and have Todd continue at his look at the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Kerry Wood on the mound for the Cubs as they take on the Astros in Houston. Not looking good for the Cubs right now. It's 4-0 Houston. That game headed to the top of the 5th inning. Jake Peavy on the mound for San Diego at Miller Park in Milwaukee. It's the Brewers 3, Padres 0. Cincinnati's on top of the Cardinals 3-0 at the new Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Pittsburgh and Colorado are scoreless. That game is through just 1 inning, and games set to get underway later this evening in the National League West Coast games. Philadelphia taking on the Diamondbacks. The Mets are at Chavez Ravine this evening to take on the Dodgers. Pedro Martinez against Derek Lowe in that one. And the Florida Marlins taking on Jason Schmidt and the San Francisco Giants. And that's a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Todd, thanks so much. Before you head down, I want to make sure that I hate to ask this statistic, but with 6 scoreless frames tonight, the Kernels shut out for 6 innings. How many innings total now has it been since the Kernels have gotten a run for Kernel starter Moose Mosebach?
We are up to 25 2/3 of an inning scoreless baseball behind Robert Mosebach.
Todd, enjoy the rest of the ball game, and I'm going to shoot home tonight and be back with the ball club tomorrow for the noon start, and let's hope we can end the dry spell and get Moose some much-deserved runs. Todd Brummelkamp, thanks for the update on the All-Stars, the draft, and for being with us this evening.
Anytime, John. Hopefully we can break out of things here and score Moose a run and win this 1-0.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's no score. It'll be the number 9 hitter for the Swing, Simon Williams, to face Moose Mosebach. Todd will be kind enough to leave his scoreboard up for us so we can go back and revisit the State Farm Major League scoreboard a little bit later this evening. It was brought to us by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler. A pitch in on the hands of Simon Williams, bounced to third. Dallas Morris with the long throw across the diamond retires Simon Williams. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. No score. The Kernels and Swing have split 8 games thus far this year. Bases empty, 1 away, and the batter is Daniel Nelson for Quad Cities. Daniel has flown to left and forced a man at second to end the 3rd inning. We're in the bottom of the 6th, no score. A bouncer up the middle. Heinle Stacia behind second has it, throws off balance and takes a hit away from Daniel Nelson. A terrific play by Heinle Stacia, who I think is the best shortstop in the Midwest League. He's a reserve on the Western All-Star squad that was named earlier today, and Stacia ranged far to his left, gloved that high chopper. Moose Mosebach stuck his bare hand out in an attempt to get a piece of it. Once it got over Moose's head, I thought it was going to wind up in center field, but a terrific play, ranging far to his left by Stacia, the Colonel All-Star shortstop, and that's 2 gone here in the swing, 6th inning, and it is now 7 in a row retired by Mosebach. The last man to reach, we'll check that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, 7 in a row. Richard Giannotti takes a strike called. Richard is grounded to second and fouled out to third, and there's strike 2 on the outside corner to the former Colonel, Richard Giannotti, the G-Man. Now the 0-2. Low and in for a ball. Did it hit Richard? I'll be darned. It hit Richard Giannotti. Now, wait a minute. The plate umpire's calling Richard back, or is he going to talk to the base umpire? I thought the pitch was in the dirt, low and inside. Richard is contending it hit him, but the plate umpire is calling Richard Giannotti back to home. Keith Mitchell will come down the third baseline and argue with the plate umpire. An 0-2 pitch by Moose Mosebach, and Giannotti claimed it hit him. Richard is walking back towards home plate, and the former Colonel will have to resume his at-bat. Not too much of an argument put up by Keith Mitchell, the skipper of Quad Cities. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's no score, and Moose Mosebach's next delivery is fouled off to the left. The scoreboard has gone blank. It says 0-1. I believe the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Richard Giannotti. Brad Kuhn is playing shallow, and he's shifted around into left center for the switch hitter. Richard down on strikes, a changeup. Moose Mosebach records his 3rd strikeout of the night and sets the swing down in order for the 2nd straight frame. Moose Mosebach has now retired 8 straight swing hitters. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Colonels will try to score a run for Moose Mosebach for the first time in 25 2/3 innings. That's almost incomprehensible. As we go to the top of the 7th, it's still a scoreless duel here in Davenport between the Colonels and the Swing. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo. Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. What should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with it?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
Trey Hearn, we're just told, has recorded his career high in strikeouts. He's fanned 6 6 innings as the Colonels come to bat in the top of the 7th. Middle of the order, Whipkey, Renz, Dallas Morris to try to get a run for Moose Mosebach, who's blanked the swing over 6 innings on 1 hit. That's how good Moose has pitched tonight. Flint Whipkey takes a fastball low for ball 1. Big crowd here at John O'Donnell Stadium. And we're in the top of the 7th inning. Whipkey looks at the next pitch over but low, ball 2. A noon game a week from tonight, a week from today, a week from this date. Tuesday, here's a high pop-up towards the third baseman. Daniel Nelson comes racing in, and in third of the way up the third baseline in foul ground, Flint has fouled out to third base. One away here in the Kernels' 7th inning. And that's 10 in a row retired by Trey Hearn. The last Kernel to reach was Heinley Stacia, who singled the center in the 3rd inning. We're in the top of the 7th, no score. Jordan Renz is struck out and lined out to second. A big curveball is in for a strike to Jordan. That's right. Tuesday, a week from this date, the 13th, a noon start at the ballpark. And those noon starts are so popular. Ball 1 low to Jordan. League leader in homers with 13. He'll start for the West in the Midwest League All-Star game here on the 21st of this month. There's strike 2 at the knees to Jordan Renz. We just can't get a single run for Moose Mosebach. We will at some point in this season. There's strike 3 swinging, and there are 2 gone here in the Kernel 7th inning. 11 straight now set down by Trey Hearn. Changeup did in Jordan Renz. 7 strikeouts for Hearn. 2 away for Dallas Morris here in the top of the 7th. No score. Quad Cities has a right-hander up in their bullpen. Matt Trent is up for the swing in their bullpen. A high pop-up and behind first will end the inning. It's a fair ball, and 20 feet behind the bag on the edge of the dirt, it's gloved by Adam Rogers. Dallas Morris pops up to first. 12 straight set down by Trey Hearn, the swing right-hander. Boy, our offense is as feeble as I can remember for a Kernel team in 11 years. Unbelievable, the lack of offense that this ball club has been able to churn out. You just have to be so pleased with the Kernel defense, pitching, and base running. But the offense has been a major disappointment here in the first half. The Kernels go down in order in the top of the 7th inning, and this big crowd at John O'Donnell Stadium is on their feet singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." After 6 1/2, Kernels nothing, Quad Cities nothing. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood. Start here. Go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. And when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talents. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
Capacity crowd, 5,103 looking on as the Swings send the middle of their order up against Robert Moose Mosebach. Colby Rasmus takes high, ball 1. Matt Trent will likely take over on the hill for the Swing in the top of the 8th inning in this scoreless game. Moose's next pitch is wrapped to first hard. Down to get it, Mark Trumbo. He waves off Moose Mosebach. Trumbo makes a fine defensive play at first, and that's 9 straight retired by the 21-year-old Kernel right-hander, Moose Mosebach. I know his host family is listening in tonight. The Broussards. Anna, Carrie, Dave and Kelly, grandfather Bill Broussard. And Broussards, if we had anything that could give Moose Mosebach a run, we'd suggest it, but the Colonel offense has slumbered tonight. Moose has retired 9 in a row, and he's working on a one-hit shutout through 6 1/3 innings. Randy Roth strokes an 0-1 pitch foul off to the right, strike 2. 5,103 here tonight at John O'Donnell Stadium in Davenport. Big, big crowd. Randy Roth bounces the 0-2 pitch foul into the swing third base dugout. The Colonel hits tonight. Kuhn, a leadoff single in the first. Santrell Smith originally was reached on a throwing error by Luis Cotto in the second. They changed that to a hit. And then a 2-out single by Stacia in the third inning. Since then, starter Trey Hearn has retired 12 straight swing batters. Moose Mosebach misses high to Randy Roth. Now a curve, and that one is hit high in the air, down the right field line, out of play, beyond the reach of Trumbo and Infante, who hustled over. No score. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. I want to highlight the positive. I told you, this is the lowest producing offense I've seen in my 11 years with the Colonels. A .237 team batting average, .224 on the road, .204 against Quad City. Here's a pitch rolled foul past third, and Randy Roth battles Moose Mosebach. On the other side of the coin, the positive side, the Colonel's starting pitching has been probably the deepest and best I've seen in my 11 years with the Colonels, with Nick Adenhart, Stephen Merrick, all-stars. Moose Mosebach should be an all-star. Here's a swing and a miss on a high fastball clocked at 92 miles an hour. 10 in a row retired by Moose Mosebach. It's his 4th strikeout of the game. He just reared back and hummed it by. One of the league's best hitters, Randy Roth. There are 2 away here in the Quad City 7th inning. Add to the Colonel's pitching staff the resurgence of Tommy Mendoza. Kelly Shear sidelined for the rest of the year with a Tommy John surgery to his left arm, but Andy Hill has come into the rotation, and that's been fantastic. Strike 1 to Colby Rasmus, Bryan Anderson, left-handed batter. Now ball 1 in the dirt from Moose Mosebach. We'll have our baseball fun fact for you when the Colonels bat in the 8th inning, as ball 2 misses just high and outside to Bryan Anderson. Anderson struck out with Colby Rasmus at second and 2 out in the 4th inning. The Swing have had only 2 base runners tonight. Swing and a miss by Bryan Anderson. That evens the count 2-2. Moose Mosebach has struck out 4, retired 10 in a row, and the bases are empty with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning in a scoreless ball game. Ball 2 is upstairs to Bryan Anderson. Now Brian Stitt is warming up for Quad Cities in the left field bullpen. Bryan Anderson on a 2-2 pitch drills it foul, hooking foul down the right field line into the Colonel bullpen. Bottom of the 7th inning, no score. I still think we're going to see a new swing pitcher in the 8th inning, but it may be right-hander Brian Stitt, their closer. Here's a drive into the right field corner, fair. Second hit of the night. It'll be an extra base hit for Bryan Anderson. He's turning towards second. The throw by Renz, cut off by Larry Infante, and this big crowd comes alive as Bryan Anderson cranks a 2-out double down the right field line. That's just the second hit of the evening for the Swing of the Quad Cities. Bryan Anderson, with his 15th double of the year, is at second with 2 out, and the batter is Jose Martinez. Jose Martinez, right-handed batter with a .252 average, 4 home runs, 3 have been against our ball club, 16 RBIs. Martinez is a right-handed batter. Moose Mosebach comes set. The first pitch is a changeup and a swing and a miss Boy, did Moose have Jose Martinez off stride. Martinez is from Venezuela. Hit 355 games in the Appalachian League last year with Johnson City. The 0-1. Grounded to third. Dallas Morris has it, takes his time, and throws the batter out. Moose Mosebach continues his shutout performance tonight. He gets Jose Martinez to wrap out to third after Bryan Anderson got just the second hit of the night for the Quad Cities, a two-out double. He's stranded, and Moose Mosebach has now pitched 7 brilliant innings in this his 12th start of the year. No runs for the Swing in the 7th. 1 hit for their second of the game. There were no Colonel errors, and the Swing leave a runner. They've stranded 3. We go to the top of the 8th inning in Davenport. It's still the Colonels nothing and Quad Cities nothing, and you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Top of the 8th inning here in Davenport, no score. The Swing make a pitching change. They bring in 23-year-old right-hander Bryan Stitt. Stitt is from Florida, and he was taken by Seattle in the 10th round in 2002. In fact, he was 2-10 with the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers 2 seasons ago in 7 starts and 38 relief appearances, and had 16 saves for Wisconsin in 2004. Bryan Stitt, a right-hander, S-T-I-T-T, 0-2 this year. He's on for the 11th time. He's the Swing closer with 6 saves. In 11 innings, Stitt has allowed 4 runs on 9 hits, struck out 11 in 11 innings, walked 1. The league hitting .214 against right-hander Bryan Stitt. It'll be Trumbo, Smith, and Johnson for the Kernels here in the 8th inning. Kernels have out-hit the Swing 3-2, and we're scoreless here in the 8th inning. Mark Trumbo, nothing for 2 tonight. Fouls the first pitch, straight back, strike 1. Trey Hearn cannot win his 4th game of the year, cannot lose. He went 7 innings, gave up no runs on 3 hits, struck out 7, and walked none. Mark Trumbo, a .208 hitter, 8 home runs, 25 driven in. Time is called. Our baseball fun fact. The draft was today, and our baseball fun fact is related to the draft. Swing and a miss by Trumbo on a changeup. In 1997, the Cardinals made Adam Kennedy their first-round draft pick out of Cal State Northridge, where he hit .414, and the Angel everyday second baseman for the last 5 seasons was the Cardinal first-round pick in 97. There's a bouncer to third. Reaching down at his shoe tops to glove it and throw out Trumbo is Daniel Nelson. 13 Kernels in a row have now been retired in this game. 1 gone here in the 8th inning. No score. That's right. Angels second baseman Adam Kennedy was St. Louis's first-round draft pick in 1997. He was traded by the Cardinals. He played in 33 games in the big leagues for St. Louis in 1999, did Adam Kennedy. It hit .255. And in a trade that benefited both teams greatly, the Cardinals dealt Adam Kennedy right before the opening day of 2000, Adam Kennedy, along with Cardinal big winner Kent Bottenfield, went to the Angels for Jimmy Edmonds. Ball 1 low to Stantrell Smith. Now Stantrell whacks a pitch foul off the black shin guards of catcher Bryan Anderson. Strike 1. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 8th inning. No score. Kernels and the swing of the Quad Cities. Stantrell taps 1 foul, past third, strike 2. I have to give Bobby Magianis and his coaching staff all the credit in the world. They have worked diligently and tirelessly with our hitters, and it's just a matter of the hitters improving. And that's all you can hope for at this level is improvement. Here's a high fly ball into center, coming on Colby Rasmus. He's there and has it. Stantrell Smith flies out to shallow center. 2 gone here in the Colonel 8th inning, and that's 14 straight Colonel batters that have been retired. I thought we might have the upper hand tonight. Having lost 6-5 last night at home, the Swing lost in extra innings in Grand Rapids, Michigan. They arrived home at 4 a.m. today. Ball 1 juts inside to Tyler Johnson. Tyler so far tonight is struck out and flown out to right. Nothing doing in the Colonel bullpen as we're in the top of the 8th inning. No score. Tyler Johnson rolls the next pitch foul off the railing of the Swing third base dugout railing. Boy, these pitching duels are fun to watch. Tyler Johnson swings late and misses. Strike 2. Bryan Stitt with the next one. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Yeah, the Cardinals drafted Adam Kennedy, the longtime Angels second baseman, as a shortstop out of Cal State Northridge back in '97. And you talk about a deal that has worked out well for both teams. Jimmy Edmonds has been sensational the last 6 seasons as a Cardinal, and Adam Kennedy has been a real anchor, a stalwart for the Angels. Ball 3 outside. Tyler Johnson was in the hole 1-2, and now it's a full count to the Colonel DH, hitting .087, no homers, 1 RBI in 6 games. Tyler, a right-handed hitter, the 3-2. Ball 4 low. Or wait, did they call strike 3? Well, the umpire called him out on strikes. He used his left hand. Wow. Tyler was on his halfway up the first baseline, out by the plate umpire, who used his left hand to call Tyler Johnson out. The Swing pitching staff has now retired 15 straight Colonel hitters. Our last base runner was Heinle Stacia, who singled to center with 2 out back in the 3rd inning. Moose Mosebach marches back to the hill. It has now been 27 2/3 innings since the Colonels have scored a run for Moose Mosebach. Can you believe that? 3 full games plus of pitching by Mosebach, and his teammates have not scored a single run for him. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Colonels nothing, Swing nothing, and this is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Leading off with a swing in the bottom of the 8th inning is their number 7 hitter, Luis Cotto, and there's a changeup, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 1 to Cotto. Bottom Bottom of the 8th inning, no score before a crowd of 5,103 here at John O'Donnell Stadium. A fastball is taken just outside. Ball 1 to the right-handed batter, Cotto. Kernels, here's a ground ball, base hit into left, and Cotto has just the third hit of the night for the swing. That might get the Kernel bullpen going, as Luis Cotto singled on the ground between the third baseman Morris and the shortstop Stacia. Rafael Cruz and Brad Beck, a righty and a lefty, are warming up in the Kernel bullpen. The swing bring up A.J. Van Slyke. A.J. Van Slyke, a left-handed batter, will face Moose Mosebach. Let's see if Bobby Magallanes counters with lefty Brad Beck. Pinch hitting for the swing is A.J. Van Slyke. His father, Andy, a former Cardinal first-round draft pick. A.J.'s a left-handed hitter, and he's pinch hitting for Rogers, and he squared to bunt Moose Mosebach through to first, and back safely the go-ahead run Cotto. No score. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. A.J. Van Slyke is batting .231 on the year. No homers, 16 RBIs. A.J. has 7 doubles, no triples. Left-handed hitting pinch hitter Dallas Morris comes tiptoeing in from third, and Moose Mosebach again throws over to first. Luis Cotto has 5 steals and 7 tries. A.J. Van Slyke will take over at first base for the man he's pinch hitting for, Adam Rogers, and that'll be in the top of the 9th inning. A.J. squares to bunt, and a fastball is high, ball 1 for Mosebach. This crowd comes alive. Finally, Stacia drops in from shortstop for a visit with Moose Mosebach. A.J. Van Slyke bats with a pronounced open stance. He may be swinging now. The 1-0 and a throw to first. Again, Cotto slips back standing up. No score. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kernels and swing clashing for the 9th time in the last 2.5 weeks. A.J. Van Slyke out of the University of Kansas is not bunting. A pitch out. The runner goes. Whipke's throw cut off by Stacia. Finally runs Cotto back to first, and Luis Cotto is tagged out by Mark Trumbo. A pitch out. Ball 2 to A.J. Van Slyke, the pinch hitter, and Whipke through to second. Stacia right on top of the bag, caught it, ran Cotto back to first, through to Mark Trumbo, and Trumbo tagged out Cotto. It went Whipke to Stacia to Mark Trumbo, and the caught stealing goes 2-6-3. 2-6-3. Now the 2-0 is a check swing and a roller foul to the left of home plate. What a big, big pitch out by the Kernels that works to perfection. Luis Cotto was running. It was a hit and run. And Whipke threw right on the bag. Hindley Stacia staring Cotto right between the eyes. Luis reversed directions, tried to get back to first, nothing doing, and ball 3 is upstairs to A.J. Van Slyke. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 8th inning in this scoreless game. Kernels and swing battling hard. Van Slyke slugs one foul down the left field line. And it's a full count to A.J. Van Slyke was a 23rd round pick of the Cardinals last year. And he walks ball 4, missed high. That hurts to get that caught stealing, and Moose Mosebach issues his very first walk, his second walk of the game. He walked Simon Williams, the batter now, with 2 out back in the 3rd inning. Let's see if Kernan Ronan has a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart talk with Moose Mosebach. Ooh, a 3-2 pitch, and Van Slyke took it upstairs for ball 4. A breaking pitch is strike one called to Simon Williams. A.J. Van Slyke will take over at first base in the ninth inning for Quad Cities. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the eighth. And the batter is Simon Williams, tall right-handed hitter. Strike two called, a changeup at the knees. Moose Mosebach, as Todd Brummelkamp mentioned earlier, has been a total professional about this tough situation to bind his teammates have put him in the last three ball games. His last three starts, they have not scored him a single run. Not a one. Now Simon Williams calls time and steps out. A leadoff single by Luis Cotto, but he was caught stealing on a hit and run. Here's a swing and a miss. Strike three on Simon Williams. The pinch hitter, Van Slyke, then walked. Simon Williams fans, and Moose Mosebach has his fifth strikeout of the game. Daniel Nelson, the switch-hitting leadoff batter, now up for Quad Cities. The swing in their white home uniforms with baby blue, powder blue socks, powder blue sleeves, burnt orange numbers, and burnt orange letters across the front of their home white jerseys that spell out swing. Quad Cities is playing before a capacity house of over 5,000. Daniel Nelson dribbles the first pitch foul between the legs of catcher Flip Whipke. Strike one on Daniel Nelson. Brad Kuhn is shaded way around into left center for Nelson. Mosebach comes set. The runner goes. A pitch high. The throw by Flint. Right on target. Head first slide. Out at second is A.J. Van Slyke. Van Slyke caught trying to steal second. It went Whipke to Stacia. And Flint Whipke throws out two. Base runners trying to steal second as the go-ahead runs here in the eighth inning. Flint Whipke threw a strike, and A.J. Van Slyke was out by plenty, head first sliding into second base. No runs for Quad Cities in the eighth. One hit, a leadoff single, a walk. Two men caught trying to steal second. Flint Whipke threw them both out. There were no Colonel errors, and the swing leave, nobody aboard. After 8 innings here at John O'Donnell Stadium, it remains a scoreless tie between the Kernels and Quad Cities. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey. Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. Well, what should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with them?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
Kernels come to bat in the top of the ninth inning, looking for their first base runner since Heinley Stacia singled into center back in the third inning. Number 99 on the hill for the swing, Bryan Stitt, a 23-year-old who was taken by the Mariners back in 2002. I don't think we'll double check. I don't think we have any finals yet on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, but we'll double check. We're using Todd Brummelkamp's computer. Yes, we do. A final from Yankee Stadium as New York edges the Red Sox 2-1. State Farm Major League scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Brad Dunn, and Dale Thompson. Leading off for the Kernels in the top of the ninth inning is Larry Infante. He may try to bunt his way on. We're back at home for an 8-game homestand starting this Saturday night And Bank of the West will sponsor a dazzling fireworks show. Strike one on the outside corner to Larry Infante from Bryan Stitt. Our parent club is batting in the top of the ninth inning at Tropicana Field, and the Angels are clobbering Tampa Bay 12-1. They're in the bottom of the ninth inning at Jacobs Field, and Oakland's holding a 7-6 lead over Cleveland. Top of the ninth inning at Camden Yards in the Battle of the Birds, the Blue Jays ahead of Baltimore 6-4 as Larry Infante takes outside for ball one. They're in the top of the seventh inning at U.S. Cellular Field with the Tigers leading the White Sox 2-1. Here's a bouncer over the hill. The second baseman Martinez gloves and throws out Larry Infante. Jose Martinez with an outstanding play in front of second base on a bouncer over the hill by the number 9 hitter Larry Infante. Larry dove head first into first base. A one-hop peg by Martinez was gloved by the new first baseman A.J. Van Slyke. 16 Kernels in a row now retired by swing pitching. The Kernels have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. Here's Brad Kuhn with Daniel Nelson playing shallow at third, taking strike one on the outside corner. Again, the White Sox are trailing now 3-1 at home against Detroit. The Rangers are ahead of the Royals in the fifth inning, top of the fifth, 4-2. Ball one low to Kuhn. That game is at Kauffman Stadium. Texas in the fifth inning leads the Royals 4-2. Later tonight, the Twins will visit the Mariners. Brad Kuhn wraps one to short, backhanded, and a long throw by Luis Cotto, and Eric Owens can't believe it. Eric Owens all over the base umpire. The throw by Cotto pulled A.J. Van Slyke off the bag. Both Bobby Magianis and Eric Owens all over the base umpire, and that is now 17 in a row retired by Quad City pitching. Brad Kuhn slapped it hard to the left side. It was backhanded by Luis Cotto. Cotto's throw appeared to pull A.J. Van Slyke off the base. Eric Owens was all over the base umpire. So, too, is Bobby Magianis. He will not reverse his decision. It stands 2 away here in the Colonel ninth inning. No score. State Farm Major League Scoreboard National League, top of the ninth inning at Turner Field. The Braves lead the Nationals 5-3. They're in the top of the seventh at Minute Maid Park, and the Cubs trail Houston 4-0. The Brewers are ahead at Miller Park over the Padres 5-0 in the top of the sixth inning. Cardinals trail the Reds 3-0. That's in the top of the sixth at St. Louis. A bouncer to second by Heinle Stacia. He's thrown out by Jose Martinez. 18 Kernels have now been retired in this game. 18 straight Kernels. That means 6 straight 1-2-3 innings for Trey Hearn and reliever Bryan Stitt. The Kernels go in order for the 6th time in a row. We head to the bottom of the ninth inning. We're going to keep it right here with the game scoreless and finish up our look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. The Reds lead the Cardinals 3-0 in the top of the 6th inning at Busch Stadium. At Coors Field in Denver, the Rockies batting in the bottom of the 4th, and they're scoreless with the Pirates. Top of the first inning, the Phillies have struck for a pair and lead the Diamondbacks in Phoenix 2-0. And later tonight, it's the Dodgers and Mets at Chavez Ravine, and the Marlins taking on the Giants at SBC Park. Well, here we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. We have a final line on Moose Mosebach, who now his mates have gone 28 2/3 innings without scoring him a run. That's really unfathomable. How can a team not score a run for a pitcher in 28 1/3 innings? I asked that question, and I ask it rhetorically because my parents taught me there are some questions in life that do not have answers to them. You can ask the question, but there's no guarantee there'll be an answer. And, of course, there's no answer. How can a team go 28 1/3 innings without scoring a run for their starting pitcher? Well, even the Colonel offense can't answer that question, although they've been the ones that have caused the question to be asked. Brad Beck takes over for Moose Mosebach. Moose went 8 shutout innings tonight. He cannot win. He cannot lose. In 8 innings, Moose surrendered no runs on 3 hits. Moose struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, walked 2, and a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen brings in left-hander Brad Beck. Brad Beck is on the hill for the Colonels. Here in the bottom of the the ninth inning. Larry Infante was shaken up on his head-first slide into first, leading off the Colonel eighth inning. That's not a good play to slide head-first into first base, and Larry is hurt. So Marco Albano will take over here in the ninth inning at second base, and Albano will bat ninth in the Colonel order. Marco Albano is at second base here in the ninth inning, replacing Larry Infante, who I'm sure hurt himself sliding head first into first base on his bouncer up the middle to start the Colonel ninth inning. This call to the Colonel bullpen sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Bottom of the ninth inning, top of the order for the swing. Lefty Brad Beck on the hill. Daniel Nelson batting right-handed for the first time tonight. Strike one from the Colonel southpaw. The Colonel's trying to send this game into extra innings. Marco Albano taking over at second base. And on the hill, lefty Brad Beck. A high pop-up to shallow second. Marco Albano gives way to Mark Trumbo. And Mark Trumbo brings it down securely. One out here in the bottom of the ninth inning in a scoreless game between the Colonels and the swing of the Quad Cities. Brad Beck pitched Sunday in the Burlington 13-4 rout over the Colonels. Brad went one inning, allowed two runs on four hits. Here's a high pop foul by switch hitter Richard Giannotti. Straight back, strike one. Great to see the G-Man back in uniform. The Angels released him this spring, and Richard has gone 0 for 3 tonight so far. He's batting right-handed for the first time against lefty Brad Beck of the Colonels. Sweeping curve, strike two called to Richard Giannotti. One away, bottom of the ninth inning, no score. It's just past the top of the hour, and we want to remind you that you're enjoying Colonel Baseball here on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Flint Whipke gloves and throws to first to complete the strikeout of Richard Giannotti. Two away here in the bottom of the ninth inning. And now the swing will send up Colby Rasmus, who had one of the Quad Cities' 3 hits against the Colonel departed starter, Moose Mosebach. Again, the fine performance by Moose. He goes 8 innings tonight, allowed no runs on 3 hits, panned 5, and walked 2. Colby Rasmus, 296 hitter, lefty against lefty matchup, and a slider is a strike called from lefty Brad Beck to left-handed batter Colby Rasmus. Now the 0-1. Curve, and it just missed low for ball 2, or ball 1 rather. We'll be right back here tomorrow with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show at 11:40. It'll be in the zone. There's a breaking pitch that missed just outside, ball 2, to Colby Rasmus. Yes, tomorrow morning at 11:40, we'll bring you the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Colby Rasmus on the 2-1 pitch from Beck. Pops it foul behind home plate. Flint Whipke coming back, but it drifts beyond Flint's reach. Down below it goes, and it's 2-2 to Rasmus. We have another couple of finals on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Oakland scored 3 in the 8th at Jacobs Field, and the A's clipped the Indians tonight 7-6. And the Colonel Parent Club at Tropicana Field walloped Tampa Bay 12-2. Rasmus takes a fastball outside, ball 3. Brad Beck will try to avoid a 2-out walk and make Colby Rasmus earn his way on. Here's the 3-2. Curve and a swing and a miss. Brad Beck fans Colby Rasmus, for the final out in the bottom of the ninth, and that sends us to extra innings. The Kernels this year are 2-6 in extra innings. We're going to the 10th. 1-2-3-0 across as Brad Beck struck out a pair. We go to the top of the 10th inning, and it's the Kernels nothing, the Swing nothing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellow Book combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Matt Trent will pitch the top of the 10th inning here at John O'Donnell Stadium, where we're scoreless through 9. He takes over for Bryan Stitt, does Matt Trent. Stitt pitched the scoreless 8th and 9th, 2 innings pitched, no runs, no hits, 1 strikeout, no walks. The Kernels will send up Flint Whipke, Jordan Renz, and Dallas Morris, looking for our first base runner since the 3rd inning. Matt Trent, a right-hander. He's out of Wingate College, a Cardinal 30th round pick last year. Trent will work from the stretch to right-handed hitting Flint Whipke. Look out, Flint backs away from an 89-mile-an-hour fastball inside, ball 1. Matt Trent is 1-2 this year with a 3.86 ERA. He's pitching out of the Swing bullpen for the 22nd time he has a save. The 1-0 to Flint is low and away, ball 2. Matt Trent in 28 innings has given up 27 hits. Struck out 40 in 28 innings, walked 15, the league hitting .252 against right-hander Matt Trent. Here's the 2-0 to Flint Whipke. Swing and a miss, a fastball. I thought perhaps Flint might be taking, but he was swinging on 2-0 in this scoreless game. In the top of the 10th inning, that's where we are. And it's wonderful to have you along with us for the first of 4 here in Davenport. Swing and a miss. Late swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Flint Whipke. Only 3 hits for each team tonight through 9 innings. It's been that good a pitching duel. The 2-2 from Trent is fouled off to the right by Flint Whipke. The Colonel record in extra innings, 2 wins, 6 losses. I'm trying to find the Swing record in extra innings, and here it is. 4 wins, 5 losses for Quad Cities in extra innings. So they're 4-5. They played 9 extra inning games. Whipke lines one on one hop to Jose Martinez. Jose takes his time and flips to first, and that's 19 Kernels now that have been retired in order since starter Trey Hearn gave up a 2-out single to Stacia back in the 3rd inning. 19 straight Kernels have been set down. That from a pitching staff ranked 9th in the league with a 3.72 ERA. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Jordan Renz. Quad City in 1-run games, 8-8. Jordan, nothing for 3 so far tonight. A knee-buckling curve is strike 2 to the Colonel All-Star, who leads the league with 13 home runs. Jordan had 3 in our series against Burlington. The 0-2 to Reds. Curve and a swing and a miss. That's 20 straight Kernels that have now been retired as Jordan Reds goes down on strikes. The positive, that's only the 9th Colonel to strike out tonight in 9 2/3 innings. And we've been striking out so much that when we can keep it to an average of 1 strikeout per inning, I feel like that's a step in the right direction. Dallas Morris at the plate with nobody on and 2 out. Ground ball to short. Gobbled up by Luis Cotto on to first, and the Colonels go in order for the 7th inning in a row. 7 innings in a row that 3 different Quad City pitchers have retired the Colonels. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning here in Davenport, where it's still the Colonels nothing and Quad Cities nothing. And you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
June is Perennial Gardening Month at Peck's Flower and Garden Shop. Peck's has the best perennial selection in town. You can start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. Each week during the month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial plant that's available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you stroll through Peck's many acres of plants and flowers. Visit the plant people at Peck's as you start your perennial garden or add to your existing one. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, Landscaping. They've been growing with the Cedar Rapids area since 1956 at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast. A U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Tim DeJurgis takes over on the hill. Brad Beck pitched a scoreless top of the 10th inning. Beck struck out a pair, walked none. And here's Tim DeJurgis, Colonel right-hander. Bottom of the 10th inning, and we're scoreless. Each club has just 3 hits. The 3 Quad City hits came off starter Moose Mosebach. A 1-out single by Colby Rasmus in the 4th inning was their first hit. Quad City's second hit didn't come until 2 out in the 7th after Mosebach had retired 10 in a row. That was a 2-out double by Bryan Anderson. Then a leadoff single in the 8th by Luis Cotto, but he was caught trying to steal on a hit and run. The Colonel 3 hits, one by Kuhn in the 1st, one by Smith with 2 outs in the 2nd, and a 2-out single by Stacia in the 3rd. Here's a high pop foul off to the right by the Swings' Randy Roth. Strike 1. Roth, the cleanup batter, named as a starter, or voted by Midwest League managers as a starter to the Western Division's All-Star team. That game will be played right here in less than 2 weeks. DeJurgis misses inside, or did the pitch hit the bat? It missed inside, ball 1 to Randy Roth. Bottom of the 10th inning, no score. Randy Roth is grounded to second, bounced to first, and struck out tonight. Tim DeJurgis with a changeup in the dirt low, ball 2. DeJurgis last pitched Sunday in the Colonel 13-4 loss at home to Burlington. Tim pitched 1 scoreless inning on Sunday, allowed a hit, struck out a man, walked none. Look out, a fastball inside, and it's ball 3 to Randy Roth. Tim, a 6'5" right-hander from Tucson, Arizona. will try to come back from this 3-1 count. He throws a strike, and it's stroked into center for a leadoff single. The fourth hit of the night for the Swing is a 3-1 pitch drilled into center by Randy Roth. And Quad Cities has the winning run at first with nobody out here in the bottom half of the 10th inning, no score. Casey Roulette will pinch run for Randy Roth. Keith Mitchell's team is playing well. They've won 6 out of their last 7, and Keith wants to take a real shot at the 500 mark with just 12 games remaining in the first half. So Casey Roulette will pinch run for Randy Roth at first base. The batter is Bryan Anderson. He squares the bunt, and the first pitch is low, ball 1. Casey Roulette has 5 steals and 8 tries. He's being held by Mark Trumbo. Bryan Anderson doubled with 2 outs. That was his last time up in the 7th inning. No score, bottom of the 10th. Anderson squares the bunt. The bunt to Tim DeJurgis' left. Tim fields it, throws the batter out. And the winning run, Casey Roulette at second with 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th. Bryan Anderson sacrifices Casey Roulette, the pinch runner, into scoring position. The play went DeJurgis to Trumbo, 1-3. A successful sacrifice by Bryan Anderson. Jose Martinez at the plate for Quad Cities. Our first final in the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At Turner Field, the Braves scalped the Nationals 5-3. No score here in Davenport, but the Swing have the winning run at second with 1 out in the 10th, and a wild pitch in the dirt. Clint Whipke will retrieve it near the on-deck circle of the Swing, and now the winning run, wild pitch to third, with only 1 out here in the 10th inning. So the Swing, trying to win this one in the bottom of the 10th, have the winning run at third with only 1 out. A pitch in the dirt and a wild pitch. Tim DeJurgis 0-2 this year with no saves, 0-2, a 3.03 ERA. Tim is pitching for the 18th time this year. Now ball 2 outside. It looks like the Kernels are going to walk Jose Martinez. It looks like the Kernels are going to issue an intentional walk to Martinez. It's 2-0 to Jose. Clint Whipke lines up with his hand outside. There's ball 3. The Colonel infield in for the play at the plate here in the bottom of the 10th inning. There's ball 4 to the batter. An intentional walk to Jose Martinez. Tim DeJurgis in 29 2/3 innings this year has only allowed 22 hits. Tim has fanned 28 batters in 29 2/3, walked 15. The league hitting just .204 against Tim DeJurgis. Now Bobby Magallanes comes out, gathers his team all around him on the mound. All the infielders are circling around Bobby Magallanes, and Bobby is letting the Kernels know what he'd like them to do should a ground ball be hit. I would suppose the Kernels will come home. Well, there's no supposing about it. You could try for a double play to send it to the 11th inning, but I would think they'd try to throw home to get Casey Roulette. Bobby may also be cautioning or warning the Kernels about the possibility of a suicide squeeze. Winning run at third, another run at first for Quad Cities here in the bottom of the 10th inning as they try to win it. No score, bottom of the 10th inning. Luis Cotto takes a curve in the dirt, ball 1. 5,103 cheering madly here at John O'Donnell Stadium. Luis Cotto, a right-handed batter. Roulette the winning run at third with 1 out. DeJurgis fakes a throw to third, looks to first. Neither runner was fooled by that. Cotto, an open stance. Takes outside, ball 2. First and third, 1 out, bottom of the 10th inning. And the swing, trying to capitalize on a leadoff single by Randy Roth, a sacrifice bunt, and a wild pitch. Swing and a miss by Cotto, a high fastball from Tim DeJurgis. Both clubs have fought hard tonight, and each, well, let's just say this, neither club deserves to lose this game. The 2-1 to Cotto. Drilled into shallow center. Kuhn will make the catch. Here comes the runner trying to score. The throw to the plate. Runner is out at the plate. Whipke held it as Roulette bowled over Flint Whipke. And a double play sends us to the 11th inning. Brad Kuhn threw a one-hop strike home. Casey Roulette lowered his shoulder, rammed over Flint Whipke. Flint held on. And that's a game-saving double play. That's a game-saving double play. Here in the 10th inning, Kuhn threw home on one hop. Casey Roulette, the pinch runner, barreled over Flint Whipke, knocked him to the ground. Flint held on, showed the umpire the ball, and a double play ends the swing 10th inning. Oh, Tim DeJurgis gets Luis Cotto to fly to center. Brad Kuhn, who we mentioned earlier, should be an all-star. We don't know why he wasn't chosen as an all-star. Kuhn threw home, and out at the plate was Casey Roulette. It went 8-2 on the double play. Double play, Kuhn to Stacia to end the 10th inning. No runs for the swing, one hit, a walk, a wild pitch, and a double play. That's the defensive play of the game, and it comes here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Well, if the Kernels can't muster a run now in the next inning, 2 or 3, then you have to just say that they can't take advantage of the momentum. No runs, one hit for the swing in the 10th. There were no Colonel errors. Quad City leaves 1. They've stranded 4. We go to the top of the 11th, and it's the Colonels nothing, Quad Cities nothing. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. What should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with it?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
Here we go to the top of the 11th inning, and what a play to try to inspire or lift the Kernels. No score. The swing had the winning run at third. First and third, 1 out moments ago, and Luis Cotto hit a fly ball into medium center. Casey Roulette, the pinch runner, tagged. Tried to score. A one-hop strike from Kuhn, and Flint Whipke held it as Casey Roulette, the pinch runner, barreled into him, ran over him. Ball 1 low to Mark Trumbo. Now a blistering fastball from Matt Trent is strike 1. Top of the 11th. No score. Will be heard in the zone tomorrow at 11:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Ball 2 misses low and away from the hard-throwing right-hander, Matt Trent. Matt has struck out 40 batters in 28 innings. Trumbo fouls one straight back, strike 2. The Kernels looking for their first base runner here in the bottom of the 11th inning since the 3rd inning, as swing pitchers have set down 21 straight Kernels in succession. Mark Trumbo, nothing for 3 tonight. Grounds 1 to short. Luis Cotto has it and throws low, but digging it out is A.J. Van Slyke. 1 away here in the Colonel 11th inning. Oh, Van Slyke saved Luis Cotto from a throwing error, and there's 1 gone, and that's 22 straight Kernels that have been retired by Quad City pitchers. I thought we might get a break. I thought Cotto's throw, which was in the dirt, might be mishandled by A.J. Van Slyke, who came on to play first base in the 9th inning, but A.J. came up with it for the first out here in the 11th inning. Stantrell Smith bounces one to short. Easy for Luis Cotto. This throw is on target, 2 away. And that's 23 in a row retired by swing pitching. Jack Rader saw our ball club in Clinton last week when the Lumber Kings shut out the Kernels 1-0, and Jack was as incredulous as I am about the listless offense that we've had to endure this first half. It hasn't been pleasant to see all the great, it's been great to see all the great pitching, but it's been a tough pill to swallow to see how the Kernel offense just can't produce on a consistent basis. Strike one into Tyler Johnson here in the top of the 11th inning. Tyler takes a fastball low for ball one. Hey, if you can't hit, you can't hit. You just keep coming back to the park every day and you work on that tough skill. I'd go 0 for 1,000 if I tried to hit a professional baseball pitch. So I'm in great empathy with the Kernel batters. The one thing I can tell you they're doing is they're trying hard. And that's all you can ask of any human being in any profession or walk of life is effort. Tyler Johnson fouls one off the arm of the umpire, and that'll mean Bryan Anderson will go out with a baseball to the mound to let the plate umpire try to recover from that blow. 2 gone here in the top of the 11th inning, no score. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tyler Johnson. This is Matt Trent's second inning of relief. He came on and retired the Kernels in order in the top of the 10th inning. Tyler Johnson trying to snap the string of 23 straight Kernels that have been retired by swing pitching. In other words, 7 2/3 innings of perfect baseball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tyler Johnson down on strikes. 24 straight Kernels have been set down. That's 8 innings of perfect baseball from starter Trey Hearn, reliever Brian Stitt, and reliever Matt Trent. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning. Boy, I thought that double play would really get the Kernels going with the bats, but I'm not sure what it's going to take for us to start improving in terms of reaching base and scoring runs in any manner of consistency. But we'll hang in there, won't we? We go to the bottom of the 11th. It's the Kernels nothing, the Swing nothing. Tim DeJurgis back to the hill, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. Well, it's nice how he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds. Gotcha. Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Tim DeJurgis surrendered a leadoff single to Randy Roth in the 10th inning. Roth was successfully sacrificed to second, went to third on a wild pitch, but Tim prevented the swing from winning the game when he got Luis Cotto to fly to center, and the throw home by Kuhn cut down Casey Roulette. Now ball 2 outside. It's 2-0 to A.J. Van Slyke from Tim DeJurgis. Working here in the bottom half of the 11th inning in a scoreless game. The 2-0 is lifted down the line and left. And coming on is Stantrell Smith. He can't get there, but it tails foul. Foul ball. Strike 1 to A.J. Van Slyke. Boy, that ball had trouble written all over it, but it tailed foul. And it's back to the plate for left-handed batting, A.J. Van Slyke. A.J. came on in this game as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 8th inning. For Adam Rogers, and he walked. Here's a high pop fly into shallow left. Heinley Stacia backpedaling about 20 feet into the grass and left, and Heinley has it for the first out of the 11th inning. A.J. Van Slyke is popped out to short. 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 11th inning. No score. Father's Day is coming up quick, isn't it? Sunday, June 18th is our final home game before the All-Star break, and we'll serve up a Father's Day brunch that'll bring a big smile of appreciation and gratitude from your dad from 10 until 1 on Sunday, June 18th. The gates open at 1, but for the baseball, well, actually the gates open at 10 o'clock because the Father's Day brunch is inside the gates. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on Simon Williams, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He walked with 2 out back in the 3rd inning. Moose Mosebach pitched 8 shutout innings in his 12th start of the year, but the Kernels couldn't get him a run. Simon Williams checks his swing on a Tim DeJurgis fastball that ran right in on his hands, and it rolls. Simon rolls it foul to the Colonel first base dugout railing, strike 2. The Colonels haven't had a base runner since the 3rd inning in this game. Here's a swing and a miss on a split-fingered fastball, and down on strikes, swinging goes Simon Williams. 2 away here in the bottom of the 11th inning. Sunday, June 18th, is also a great attraction on the parking lot of Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's the Principal Financial Family Fun Fest, a traveling baseball festival that will be set up at 11 o'clock Sunday morning, so you can bring your dad into the ballpark for the Father's Day brunch and then enjoy the Principal Financial Family Fun Fest. Includes over 20 baseball-themed attractions, a minor league baseball museum, batting and pitching cages, a steel home bungee run, side-by-side giant slide, baseball bounce houses, baseball fun and entertainment for all ages. 2 balls, no strikes now to Daniel Nelson. After Mosebach went 8 innings, allowing no runs on 3 hits, Brad Beck pitched a scoreless 9th inning, striking out 2, and then Tim DeJurgis had the winning run at 3rd with 1 out in the bottom of the 10th, but got Luis Cotto to hit into the double play, Kuhn to Whipke. Now a fastball outside. It's 3-0 to Daniel Nelson. Nelson is nothing for 4 so far tonight. Only 7 hits, 3 by the Kernels, all 3 in the first 3 innings. Here's ball 4. Uncharacteristic of Tim DeJurgis to walk a man on 4 pitches with 2 outs, but that is what Tim has done, and let's hope that Tim can pitch around that 2-out walk. Richard Giannotti, Colonel regular last year. Richard will bat for the 5th time tonight. Richard's nothing for 4 in his Quad Cities debut. Switch hitter batting left, and ball 1 high and away, and that prompts Split Whipke to take a trip to the mound. Sunday brunch for Father's Day at the ballpark, along with the Principal Financial Family Fun Fest. The number to call for Colonel tickets, 896-7560. 896-7560. Or you can order Colonel tickets online, www.kernels.com. 1-0 to Richard Giannotti. He may be taking. There goes the runner. A pitch high. Whipke's throw to second. Daniel Nelson out at second base. Clint Whipke is thrown out. Not 1, not 2, but 3 base stealing attempts by the swing. Daniel Nelson thrown out. Caught Whipke to shortstop. 2-6. And what a night behind the plate for Flint Whipkey. He catches Daniel Nelson trying to steal second, and that ends the Quad Cities 11th inning. No runs for the swing, no hits. There were no Colonel errors. The swing got a 2-out walk from Daniel Nelson, but Whipkey threw him out. And we now head to the top of the 12th inning here in Davenport, where most of the 5,103 are still here. After 11, it's still a scoreless duel between the Kernels and Quad Cities. And you're enjoying it on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Florentino? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, a pasta makes you sing. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and something to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wig from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
Marco Albano bats for the first time. He took over at second base in the 9th inning as Larry Infante injured himself, diving into first, trying to beat out a bouncer over the hill in the top of the 9th. Marco on a 1-0 pitch, fouls it off to the right. Strike one. 1-1 to Marco Albano. Marco played last night. In fact, he tied the game last night at home at 3 with a ground ball RBI double past first base in the 4th inning. Marco Albano batting for the first time. .233 hitter. No home runs. 6 RBIs for Marco in 20 games. A fastball from right-hander Matt Trent is strike 2 to Marco Albano. No score. We're in the top of the 12th inning. Trent comes set. The next one is in the dirt for ball 2. It'll be Albano, Kuhn, and Stacia here in the top of the 12th inning. Kernels looking to put their first man aboard since the 3rd inning. 8 perfect innings from the swing, starter, and bullpen. So we're due. Marco taps it foul, and Marco Albano's battling Matt Trent. Trent pitched a 1-2-3 10th inning, set our side down in order in the 11th inning. Colby Rasmus is shaded way around into right center for Marco Albano. Matt Trent's 2-2. Curve. Strike 3 called. Marco Albano caught looking. And there's one away here in the 12th inning. We'll play here at noon tomorrow. You can hear it in the zone, 1600 a.m. We'll have the South Slope Communications Triple Play show for you at 11:40 tomorrow morning. Here's Brad Kuhn, the leadoff batter. He singled to start the game. Little did we know that that would be only one of 3 Kernel hits so far tonight. What's amazing is that our ball club hasn't drawn a walk yet. In 11 and a third innings, strike 1 on the outside corner to Brad. Now a fastball upstairs. Kernel pitching has only issued 4 walks so far tonight. 2 by the starter, Moose Mosebach, and 2 by Tim DeJurgis, 1 in the 10th, 1 in the 11th. Strike 2 called on the outside corner to Brad Kuhn. 25 Kernels in a row have been retired. Can Brad be the first to reach since the third inning? Ball 2 dips low. Sellout crowd of 5,130 here tonight. And they've seen a whale of a ball game, scoreless here in the top of the 12th inning. Ball 3 low and away to Brad Kuhn. From Matt Trent, who is retired 7 in a row. Trent working from the stretch. The 3-2 to Kuhn. Fouled off to the left. Brad had a good cut at that fastball. Matt Trent is from Roanoke, Virginia. Out of Wingate College. He's a tall, strong right-hander, 6'2", 220. Here's the next payoff delivery to Brad Kuhn, the Colonel leadoff hitter. Swinging a foul, straight back again. Boy, Brad has had a couple of good swings against Matt Trent. We're in the top of the 12th inning, 1 out. Bases empty for the Kernels. The next pitch to Kuhn. Popped in the air to left. That'll be easy for Simon Williams. Simon doesn't have to move a step, and he snags it for the second out of the 12th inning. Well, Brad Kuhn is to be commended. He made Matt Trent work, and that's 26 in a row. Retired by swing pitching. They're within 1 out of 9 innings of perfect baseball. That's just amazing. Well, this story will likely make the national media, no matter how the game comes out. If Heinle Statia is unable to reach, it will be 9 perfect innings pitched by swing pitchers, and we're in the 12th inning, no score. Strike 1 called to Heinle Statia. We'll give you a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard when the swing bat in the bottom of the 12th inning. A lot of finals have started to be posted. Swing and a miss by Statia on a changeup. Heinle singled with 2 out in the 3rd inning, and the Kernels have not had a base runner since. We're in the top of the 12th. Curve and a swing and a miss. That is 9 perfect innings from Quad City pitchers. 27 straight Kernels have been retired in this ball game. We go to the bottom of the 12th inning, and it's still the Kernels nothing and Quad Cities nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
We go to the bottom of the 12th inning, no score. State Farm Insurance agents Al Shuttler, Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, and Brad Dunn are proud to bring us a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here in Davenport. No score as we head to the bottom of the 12th inning. Tim DeJurgis will be pitching his 3rd inning out of the Colonel bullpen. In the Battle of the Birds on the State Farm Major League scoreboard at Camden Yards, it was the Blue Jays toppling the Orioles 6-4. At Jacobs Field, it was the Athletics trimming the Indians 7-6 tonight. A final from the Bronx, the Yankees shaded the Red Sox 2-1. Our parent club, the Angels, drubbed the Devil Rays at Tropicana Field 12-2. They're in the top of the 9th inning at U.S. Cellular Park. The White Sox, with 3 in the 8th inning, lead Detroit 4-3. Bottom of the 8th inning at Kauffman Stadium, the Rangers ahead of the Royals 6-2, and they're in the top of the 3rd now at Safeco Field. No score between the Twins and the Mariners. In the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, we have a pair of finals. One from Turner Field. Atlanta knocked off the Nationals tonight 5-3, and at Miller Park in Milwaukee, it was the Brewers stomping the Padres 5-1. Top of the ninth inning, the Cubs at Minute Maid Park trail the Astros 4-0. They're in the top of the ninth inning at Busch Stadium, and the Reds are shelling the Cardinals 7-0. The Rockies are tied with the Pirates in the bottom of the sixth at Coors Field 3-3. They're in the top of the fourth inning at Chase Ballpark in Phoenix. The Phillies lead the Diamondbacks 2-0. The Dodgers are tied with the Mets 2-2 in the top of the second at Chavez Ravine. No score in the bottom of the second. The Giants hosting the Marlins. That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Brad Dunn. Richard Giannotti lays off ball one high from Tim DeJurgis. Bottom of the 12th inning, and no score here at John O'Donnell. Richard takes the strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. The G-man for the Kernels last year hit .235, 3 homers, 28 RBIs. And a changeup is low and outside. Ball 2 to Richard. Tim's next pitch is just outside and low. Ball 3. Richard Giannotti will likely take a pitch or two as he leads off for Quad Cities here in the bottom of the 12th inning. Strike 2 called, and it's a full count now to Richard. Flint Whipke has thrown out 3 swing base runners trying to steal second. There's ball 4, low. Richard Giannotti draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 12th inning. Third walk issued by Colonel right-hander Tim DeJurgis. Colby Rasmus may be playing hit and run. That's my guess, is that Keith Mitchell will hit and run with Colby Rasmus. Richard Giannotti is leading away at first. He's not running. Rasmus bunts, and Richard Giannotti will go to second as Tim DeJurgis fields the bunt and throws out Colby Rasmus. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 12th inning. Colby Rasmus sacrifices the winning run, who walked to start this 12th to second base. It went DeJurgis to first baseman Mark Trumbo. And now Casey Roulette, who came on as a pinch runner for Randy Roth in the 10th inning. Roulette will bat for the first time. Casey Roulette takes a Tim DeJurgis delivery low for ball 1. Casey Roulette will try to drive in Richard Giannotti here in the bottom of the 12th inning with the game-winning run. Roulette, a switch hitter batting right. Tim DeJurgis' 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. Casey Roulette hitting .212. Roulette has no home runs, 16 runs driven in. You can bet he'll be swinging on this 2-0 pitch. At least I think he will be. He is, and he whistles it foul straight back. 1 on, it's in scoring position, 1 out, bottom of the 12th inning, no score between the Kernels and Quad Cities. Tim DeJurgis, 6'5" Colonel right-hander. Steps off. Now Tim is ready. And Roulette hits a deep drive to left. That should win it. It's going, and a 2-run homer by Casey Roulette. 2-0 swing. First home run of the year for Casey Roulette, and the Swing win it in 12 innings, 2-0. We'll have the totals, highlights, and more coming up next here from Davenport. A 12-inning win for the Swing, 2-0 over the Kernels. Totals and highlights and more coming your way in just a moment here on the Kernel
Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears. And it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
A remarkable evening of baseball here at John O'Donnell Stadium as the Swingin' Kernels open a 4-game series, having met 8 times in the last 2.5 weeks, and this was a game of epic proportions in terms of futility offensively for both teams. Quad City's Casey Roulette, his first at bat of the night, he came on as a pinch runner in the 10th, and he belts his first home run of the year with Richard Giannotti on board, the former Colonel, at second in the bottom of the 12th. It came off Tim DeJurgis, and Quad Cities wins it in 12 innings, 2-0. The remarkable part of this game, well, 2. First of all, Moose Mosebach, 8 scoreless innings for the Kernels. The starter went 8 innings, gave up no runs on 3 hits, struck out 5, walked 2, and the Kernels failed to get him a run. 28 2/3 innings now in his last 3 starts that the Kernels have not gotten a run for Moose Mosebach. The other remarkable distinction, or the remarkable fact about this game, Heinle Stacia with a 2-out single in the 3rd inning. That was the last Colonel to reach base against not only starter Trey Hearn, but relievers Bryan Stitt and reliever Matt Trent. Stitt pitched 2 scoreless innings of perfect baseball. Trent 3 scoreless innings of perfect baseball. And get this, the last 27 Colonels in this game to bat all were retired. That means the swing had a perfect game since the 3rd inning. The swing pitchers were perfect in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's right. The Colonels were retired in order 9 innings in a row, and it was a 1-out, 2-run homer by Casey Roulette that won it for the swing, his first home run of the year. For Quad Cities, a 12-inning victory. Their record in extra innings now is 5-5. The Colonel record in extra innings, an abysmal 2-7. Here's the final line score for the swing: 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The swing left 4. The Colonels, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. We left 2. Winning pitcher Matt Trent, he's now 2-2. Loser Tim DeJurgis, 0-3. A capacity house of 5,103 saw the swing win it on the 2-run homer by Casey Roulette, his first of the year with former Colonel Richard Giannotti on base. The game only took 2 hours and 47 minutes, a 12-inning triumph for Quad Cities. We'll be back in just a moment with our PRC play of the game here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank Free Money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan, take Giuseppe Florentino? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for the Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
This full house with 5,103 not only relishing a swing 12-inning 2-0 win that saw the swing pitching staff throw not one but 9 perfect innings at the Kernels, retiring the last 27 Kernels in a row. And they're also excited because the fireworks are booming. And Todd Brummelkamp, I'm going to share a suggestion that I don't want you to feel that I'm being cynical or sarcastic, but I think the Kernels should put their bats out where the fireworks are being lit off and burn the bats after a 2-0 Quad City win tonight that saw the Kernels offense reach almost a new level of futility in having only 3 hits. Poor Moose Mosebach. Moose pitched 8 scoreless innings, but comes away, thankfully, without his 5th loss in a row. It was Tim DeJurgis who gave up the 1-out home run to Casey Roulette, his first of the year, in the bottom of the 12th inning. On a brighter note, our PRC play of the game brought to you by the great folks at PRC. If you're looking for a job where you'll be a part of an amazing team that cares for your needs and gives you the ability to grow, PRC may be your alley. They're the former Access Direct in Cedar Rapids, and you can visit them online at www.prcnet.com. We picked a play that I thought would shift the momentum clearly in the Colonel favor and inspire us to at least get a man on base in extra innings, but it didn't, but it was still a whale of a play. The swing in the 10th inning got a leadoff single from Randy Roth. They brought in pinch runner Casey Roulette. Bryan Anderson successfully sacrificed Roulette to second. Tim DeJurgis' wild pitch sent him to third. The Colonels walked Jose Martinez. The swing had the winning run at third. 1 out. Luis Cotto at the plate. Let's pick the action up right there with our PRC play of the game.
This game. The 2-1 to Cotto. Drilled into shallow center. Kuhn will make the catch. Here comes the runner trying to score. The throw to the plate. Runner is out at the plate. Whipke held it as Roulette bowled over Whipke. And a double play sends us to the 11th inning. Brad Kuhn threw a 1-hop strike home. Casey Roulette lowered his shoulder, rammed over Flint Whipke. Flint held on. And that's a game-saving double play. That's a game-saving double play.
Yes, at the time, it was a game-saving double play. Kuhn's catch in center. Then his 1-hop strike to Whipke. Flint withstood the blow delivered by the pinch runner Roulette, who rammed into Flint, knocked him over. Flint came up with the ball in his hand, and that double play kept the game scoreless after 10 innings. I thought for sure that double play would turn the Colonel fortunes around, but you have to credit the swing. Their pitching staff pitched 9 perfect innings of baseball. The Colonels didn't have a runner after Stacey's 2-out single in the 3rd inning. The swing finally won it in the 12th on a 2-run homer, his first of the year by Casey Roulette. That's our PRC play of the game. And as I told you, PRC is a company that cares about you. And I would suggest you learn about their benefit package known as Life Essentials by visiting their website, www.prcnet.com. Medical, dental, vision, pet insurance, 401k retirement savings plan, a casual dress code, and a flexible schedule. Our PRC play of the game, Brad Kuhn throwing home in the bottom of the 10th after catching the drive off Luis Cotto's bat to cut down the winning run at the plate, Casey Roulette. We went into the 12th inning, and that's when the Colonels lost it and sunk to 2-7 in extra innings. We'll be back in a moment from Davenport with a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. That's next here on the Colonel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westfield Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westfield Mall and by Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Welcome back to John O'Donnell Stadium, where a capacity crowd of 5,103 saw a scoreless game through 11 1/3 innings. Former Colonel Richard Giannotti drew a leadoff walk in the 12th, was sacrificed to second, and then Casey Roulette, his first at bat of the year, hit a home run onto the grass slope seating berm and left, his first of the season, and the Swing won it in 12 innings, 2-0. Since this game lasted so long, we have lots of finals on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. It's brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, Brad Dunn, and Al Shetler. And with a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, here's Colonel Director of Media Relations, Todd Brummelkamp.
Thanks, John. We'll start in the American League, where tonight Toronto defeated Baltimore 6-4 at Camden Yards. Oakland over Cleveland 7-6 to make Barry Zito a winner for the 6th time this season. Houston Street, 2005 American League Rookie of the Year, nailing down his 10th save in that game at Jacobs Field. It was a classic at Yankee Stadium, another one in that great, long, storied rivalry as the Yankees knock off Boston 2-1. Chin-Ming Wang picks up the win. Mariano Rivera, his 12th save of the season. Our parent club, the LA Angels, landing one on the chin for Tampa Bay tonight. Irvin Santana improves to 5-3 as the Angels trounce Tampa Bay 12-2 at Tropicana Field. World champion Chicago White Sox defeat Detroit at the Cell on the South Side 4-3. Texas is on top of Kansas City, no surprise there, 6-2. That game's in the top of the ninth at Kauffman Stadium. And Minnesota and Seattle are scoreless. That's the Twins batting in the top of the fourth at Safeco Field. Over in the National League, Atlanta defeated Washington at Turner Field 5-3. Former Rockford Royal Ken Ray nailing down his third save, bullpen by committee in Atlanta. Kerry Wood fell to 1-2 as the Cubs dropped a 4-1 decision to Houston. The Astros winning that one at their home ballpark. Milwaukee jumped on San Diego ace Jake Peavy early with all 5 of their runs in the first 4 innings as they defeated the Padres 5-1 at Miller Park. Cincinnati shut out St. Louis at the new Busch Stadium 7-0. The Cardinals managing just 5 hits in that ball game. Colorado at Coors Field currently on top of the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-3. That game is in the top of the 7th. The Phillies lead Arizona 2-0 at Chase Field down in Phoenix. That game in the top of the 5th. The Mets and the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine 2-2 in the top of the 3rd. New York batting. That's Pedro Martinez on the hill for the Mets tonight. And our late game out on the West Coast, it's the Marlins and the Giants scoreless through 3.5. And that's a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Todd, thank you so much. It's sponsored for the 11th year in a row by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Al Shetler. A special programming reminder, we'll greet you tomorrow morning at 11:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. We'll be in the zone at noon with the first pitch. And Todd, every once in a while, just a change in routine does someone very good. And this evening I decided to drive over because I'm giving a talk tomorrow morning at a Rotary Club. And I thought, you know, even though the Kernels haven't played real well, especially offensively, there's no need to go over that tired song, but I thought, I wonder what I'm going to see tonight at the ball game. I tried to come in with a fresh mind, and even though it was something frustrating, it was something memorable. 9 perfect innings from 3 different Quad City pitchers. It's hard to be on the receiving end of that, but you know human nature. You know baseball. What in the world can this ball club do besides my joke of burning the bats with the fireworks? What can we do?
Well, I don't know, but if I'm Robert Mosebach, if I'm Bobby, I take away his belt, his socks, anything he can use to hang himself tonight, because it's getting to the point of just downright frustration for him. I think it got up to about 27 2/3 scoreless innings behind him. 8 innings, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Moose hung out to dry once again. And I tell you, 3 hits, it was more of the same, John, and I'm right there with you. What can we do differently? It's frustrating from our standpoint because we can only sit back and watch. There's nothing we can do about it. You know, you can eat something different or you can drive over and not take the bus, and the team is still going to go out and do the same thing. Now, that said, you said it's human nature. It's also baseball. And we know anything can happen in baseball. This team could come around on short turnaround tomorrow for that noon game and come out and just jump all over Kyle Sedlowski, a guy that they made look like Nolan Ryan the last time we faced him.
If you're Bobby Magianis, you have 11 games remaining in the regular season. Do you pick the batting order out of a hat? I've suggested perhaps Heinle Stacia batting third because he leads us in doubles. One thing we know, we have to cut down on the number of strikeouts. I don't know what Bobby and Eric Owens could do except be patient. The only thing in life, they say, if you do the same thing and get the same results, and you keep doing the same thing, expect to get the same results. So is it time, I'm not saying, Todd, to press the panic button, but is it time to try something radical?
Well, I don't know. We saw from the results of the draft today that, as usual, with the Angels' philosophy, there's not too many players that are going to be ready to come into Cedar Rapids. But last year we got guys like Greg Deeney who came in and made a marginal impact. So this team can't sit back and expect to land a lot of help from the draft. And I know that was something that Bobby discussed just a couple days ago. We know that the guys down in extended spring training that are ticketed for Orem are going to Orem. They're not going to be sent up here. And I think at this point, there's still about between 5.5 to 6.5 games separating us from Burlington or Peoria for that last playoff spot, depending on how everything shook out tonight. It's theoretically, you're still in the playoff race. I don't know if you pitch that to these guys or if you just say, we're going to do our best to improve over these next 11 games, and then we're going to go out and make a run in the second half. The long and short of it, I don't have the answer to that. I wish I did.
Well, I think we all did, Todd. I learned
maybe we let Rhodey coach a couple innings out at third base.
That's something different, I'll tell you. Well, Todd, thank you for lending a very rational and straightforward approach. I tried, and I think I did throughout the broadcast, not to get too down or frustrated, because I know this, the guys are trying their hearts out. It's not a matter of effort, it's just a matter of improvement, and I think you put it best, is you just have to come out, and hopefully starting tomorrow, less than 14 hours from now, we'll be back at it. Todd Brummelkamp, thank you so much.
Thank you, John. We'll be right back here at John O'Donnell tomorrow.
And we'll have it for you in the zone at 11:40 at 12 o'clock first pitch. The final in 12 innings tonight, Quad City wins it 2-0. For Colonel Director of Media Relations, Todd Brummelkamp, I'm John Rogers, wishing you a great rest of your what's left of Tuesday evening. Join us here tomorrow. 2-0 swing in 12 innings. This has been Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.